Another beautiful evening and beautiful weekend in lower downtown Denver. Welcome to 20th and Blake. Hi there. And inside Coors Field, the Rockies getting ready for Game 2 of this 3-game set between Colorado and the Chicago Cubs. Well, we begin tonight by telling you a roster move. Rafael Betancourt had an emergency appendectomy, his appendicitis, and was placed on the 15-day disabled list. And recently acquired Mitchell Boggs, who was terrific in an 8th-inning role last year with St. Louis, is now up with the Colorado Rockies. So Rafael Betancourt will be down for at least a couple of weeks. And we welcome you upstairs along with George Frazier. I'm Drew Goodman. Glad, of course, that you are along with us on a pretty night at Coors Field. Rockies fell yesterday 3-1. We've talked a lot about Walt Weiss, and one of Walt's strengths, not only as a player, but I think as a leader now, is the fact that he's always dealt with adversity, any kind of it.
Well, he has as a player. I think that's been the key, Drew. He has as a player. So when you've dealt with as a player, and very recently as a player, and you've been a coach and you've seen the struggles and bring people out of that, I think the biggest thing is patience, and that's something he has delivered to this ball club. Yeah,
he has a great poker face, and he spoke earlier about dealing with adversity with his club.
Again, it was another one of those opportunities for our club to respond to a little bit of adversity. I think we've done that well this year. Where it looks like we might go into a slide or we're struggling, we've been able to turn things around. And maybe not always right away, but we've never let the season get away from us.
And I think specifically what Walt is addressing, not only now the injury to, or not the injury, but the situation with Rafael Betancourt, but also the offense. This offense is a very good offense. They've dealt with some injuries overall. But lately, in the month of July, they have not put together the big games that we became accustomed to early in the season.
Well, and part of that is, too, who's pitching against you. You know, when you catch Kershaw twice, you got Greinke twice in the month of July, it'll create some of these struggles here. The average, the home runs, extra base hits, runs per game, slugging percentage, all of those factor into the one loss that you're dealing with. But remember who you've been pitched against also. And then when you flip that over, Drew, and you start to look and see where they rank nationally, what happens to them? Well, they're second batting average, second home run, second base hits, extra base hits, I should say, runs per game, first in slugging percentage, and oh, by the way, third in stolen bases. So this is an offensive club that on given nights, yeah, they get shut down, but on other nights they may throw out a 9 spot too. And I think the one thing is trying to find that even keel to where you're throwing 5 out every night or 6 every night and not 9 one night, 0 the next night, and get that consistency going.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, every team's going to have to win its share of 2-1 and 3-2 games. You can't throw a 9 spot up every night, and it's got to begin at home. That's why last night was a disappointment. But the Rockies have 9 more. They're getting ready for Carlos Villanueva tonight, a guy that they've had success against in the past. And we'll talk about Juan Nicasio when we return. Juan Nicasio coming off perhaps the best performance of his career. from the bullpen. They will form the battery tonight as Juan Nicasio looks to build on what he did in Los Angeles right before the All-Star break. The best start of his career. So it'll be Carlos Villanueva, as we talked about a moment ago, against Juan Nicasio. Villanueva has had a solid season from an ERA and an opponent batting average standpoint, but the Rockies did get after him earlier this year. And Juan Nicasio, George, just tremendous in L.A.
Yeah, Nicasio has been wonderful. Let's add to that 8 shutout innings in the Springs before being called up. So he's had 15 zeros put on the board. But in Los Angeles, he had everything working, including the changeup. Just 3 hits given up. He allowed the slider to work for him during situations and be able to get a lot of outs. And you mentioned Villanueva too, going against Nicasio. He's got a 15 ERA in his career against the Rockies. Things favor obviously Nicasio to carry over the confidence that he's displayed, both pitching in the Springs, also against the Dodgers. I know the Springs, but the reason I bring that up is he's pitched very well in his career at home in this ballpark.
He's pitched very well in his career against the National League Central. So it'll be the Rockies and the Cubs. Juan Nicasio against Carlos Villanueva. Come on back to 20th and Blake with us. Rockies baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by your 7 neighborhood Toyota stores. Toyota, let's go places. By 5-Hour Energy Shots. By King Soopers, more value for the way you live. And by Southwest Airlines, find our fares online only at southwest.com. Gorgeous evening for baseball. Luis Valbuena is in a platoon situation at third base. Will get the start and lead things off for Chicago. Cody Ransom started against De La Rosa, the left-hander, last night. Here's the rest of Dale Swaim's batting order presented by Southwest Airlines. Starlin Castro, who was hitless last night, will bat second. Anthony Rizzo had an RBI double, which turned out to be the game-winning hit last night. Then Alfonso Soriano, he had a home run yesterday. The former Giant Nate Shearholtz, Junior Lake, who had quite a debut, 3 for 4 in his first big league action. Darwin Barney, Wellington Castillo behind the plate, and Carlos Villanueva, the former Milwaukee Brewer. Juan Nicasio at 5-4, and with that shutout of eight innings in Los Angeles, 7 innings, he lowered that ERA below 5.
And a whip of 138. You see the strikeouts to walk, almost 2-1. You appreciate that part of it for Nicasio. Good to have fastball hitting team. Important to see the secondary stuff show up in this ball game. Fastball, 75% of the time. He'll average nearly 93 miles an hour with it. The slider is coming on along with the changeup, 2 pitches he used against the Dodgers.
So here we go, game 2 of this 3-game set, game 2 of a 10-game homestand to begin the second half for the Rockies. Jeff Samardzija was terrific yesterday, as was Jorge De La Rosa. De La Rosa gave up just that home run in 6 innings to Soriano, and the first pitch of the ball game over for strike 1. Nicasio 3-1, 2.96 ERA lifetime against the National League Central. Traditionally, at least recent tradition, the Rockies have played well against the Central Division. And it's 1-2. An interesting stat from the Cubs standpoint, George. They have not played well inside their division this year, and you can understand it with 3 heavyweights in Cincinnati, St. Louis, now Pittsburgh. Outside the division, they're 28-23.
They've played very good baseball, and comparable to a year ago, this year at 43-51 through 94, a year ago 38-56. So much better difference, or better playing of baseball. The Cubs have done a good job of being able to keep the ball in the ballpark. They've been able to have their starting pitchers who have had 58 quality starts. Think about that. I mean, and they've gone, can you get a catch that? Oh, you yes!
What?
My little buddy caught it.
Is this what you want?
Yeah, throw it back out there to him. Here, throw it out there. Throw it
I
out.
just gave it to you.
Oh, here you go. Have it back. Smile. Smile, you did good. He caught it on the bounce. I'm not, well, no, actually, he leaned out and I grabbed his feet and jerked him back in. It was a great catch.
No, because the camera never lies.
They don't have that part. Wow, where was that?
Evidently just outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. George, there's shoe polish on this baseball. This looks like this
no,
thing.
That's from
this
downstairs.
thing's so scuffed up, it looks like one of the balls he used to throw.
Yeah, Tommy John, the only guy who knew that shoe polished his glove black before every start.
And that's fouled off.
See, this is what we've talked about with Nicasio, and it's a shame that his stuff is so good and he's around the plate with control and command that a lot of nasty pitches get fouled off, which as a result drives his pitch count up. I wish sometimes these guys have put the ball in play at somebody.
And it's 3-2.
Started to say about their Cubs pitching, and it's 58 quality starts. That's 3rd most in the National League. And think about this: 30-11 with 17 no decisions, well out of the zone.
Oh, the Cubs are improved. The Rockies obviously vastly improved over a year ago. And a chance for Helton. Good feed to Nicasio. Good footwork in finding the bag. 1 out. And that'll bring up Starlin Castro. Here's a look at tonight's weather. It's brought to you by Bluebell Ice Cream. The weather is warm in July, and Bluebell Ice Cream reminds you it's National Ice Cream Month. Treat yourself to Bluebell's newest flavor, Rock Slide Brownie, and celebrate with us today. So the temperature in the middle 80s. The field condition is always outstanding. Low humidity. Gotta love Colorado.
When they said ice cream month, I thought every month was the ice cream month. Why do they say it's just 1 month? Because Bluebell's good 12 months out of the year for me. I mean, I'm all in.
In our household, Bluebell ice cream reigns supreme. Starlin Castro 0 for 4 last night. He takes a strike, hitting .288 over his last 19 ball games.
Nicasio's last start against the Cubs got roughed up a little bit in Wrigley Field. He went 6 innings, gave up 5 runs. He walked 2, struck out 1.
George, you mentioned this last night. The Cubs are rebuilding, and 2 guys, at least offensively, that they're going to build around. This kid at shortstop and the guy in the on-deck circle at first base, Anthony Rizzo. And they've both been signed to 7-year deals. So if you want to build around somebody, you're making quite a commitment when you say, hey, we'll sign you to a 7-year contract.
Cargo and Gonzalez.
Absolutely.
2 guys, I mean, Gonzalez and Tulowitzki, 2 guys. Because Cargo and Gonzalez are the same. You didn't catch that in the beginning, did you?
No, but I knew what you meant.
Right.
I've been around you for a while. Blue single. So Castro at first with one out for Rizzo. Tonight's defense brought to you by Excel Energy. Let's take a look at the Rockies. They'll have Cargo Dexter and Michael Kadire in the outfield. Nolan Arenado, Troy Tulowitzki, DJ LeMahieu at second, Todd Helton at first. It is the same exact lineup from a position player standpoint as it was yesterday. Rosario doing the catching.
Castro, 7 stolen bases. Rosario popped up, kind of gave him a look down the first base line. Rizzo, a very good fastball hitter, trying to avoid that power by keeping the ball away from him. They missed away off the plate with the first pitch.
Rizzo with 2 outs, followed a Cody Ransom walk with a double to the right field corner to break up that 1-1 tie yesterday. Cubs would get a run in the 9th inning against Rex Brothers and prevail 3-1. Rockies did mount a threat in the bottom of the 9th inning. In the air to Cargo in left.
Wind's a little tricky here at the ballpark. Up above in the rock pile. Up above in the rock pile, you'll see the wind that's whirling straight in from center field. So it's going to push that ball, particularly off the left-handed bat. It pushed it 15 to 20 feet to allow Cargo to make the play on the baseball.
Alfonso Soriano hit the 389th home run of his career last night. That ties him with Johnny Bench. And George, Johnny Bench was a really good player.
Johnny Bench was a really, really good player. And we talked a little bit about this last night, going to Cincinnati and facing the Reds. And, you know, you said, how come you dislike Cincinnati so much? And you start naming off Perez, Morgan, Bench, guy behind the plate that won a lot of Gold Gloves. It's in the Hall of Fame.
I want to show you something. This baseball, and you know, you threw about 10 million of these things during your career. People don't realize they used to be Mississippi mud, they rub it down. So if you ever catch a foul ball in the stands and you look and you say, man, this thing's not white, it is really dark gray. That is what the baseball looks like after they rub it down. You know, we have HD television, so you can pretty much get a feel for it. I wish we had a pearl, literally hadn't been rubbed down. Do you have one? And you can see the difference.
It's not rubbed down, it's not a pearl, but you'll see a big difference in color.
Look at the difference in color. This one is a game ball. This one hasn't been rubbed down yet.
And Shane does a great job. He's down in the umpire's room. It used to be all the umpires.
Oh, runner going. Rosario's throw to second. Safe.
Now 8 stolen base for Castro. Ball was inside too, and you got a guy not on top of the plate, but pretty close. He got a great big jump on it, one look back, and then a slide to the outfield side once you see where the fielder is going to collect the baseball. Rosario 11 of 45 now throwing out base runners, but with that pitch inside, it makes it a little more difficult on the catcher to get squared up and make the throw.
And that's inside, 3-0.
You're wondering how many dozen baseballs they go through in one game. It's 12, sometimes 13 dozen baseballs.
Soriano walks. And now with 2 on, it'll be left-handed hitter Nate Shearholtz, and it's a 20-pitch inning here for Juan Nicasio. Who wants tacos? Remember, when the Rockies score 7 or more during any game, go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the next day. Do it between 4 and 6. Get your Rockies taco special. Shearholtz with a career best 11 home runs, hitting a shade under 270. He's another guy looked upon more as a platoon outfielder. He has a howitzer of an arm.
Play all 3 outfield position, but really the best in right field. There's a little maturity now. Rosario going out to talk to Nicasio along with Jimmy Wright as he hustles out to the mound. 11 balls, 10 strikes thrown so far in the ball game.
I mean, he didn't just outduel anybody in Los Angeles. He outdueled Clayton Kershaw. 7 innings, 3 hits, a walk and 3 strikeouts, 101 pitches. First time since May the 12th that he had gone 7 innings. And that was also in Los Angeles. Likes Hollywood. That was well received, George, by Willeen Rosario, because I think he took a borderline pitch and hooded it with his glove. Watch this.
Right. I mean, you get an elevated like this, and you can see the pull in, but most umpires will not get fooled by that pull. They get pulled. They are going to call a pitch when they see it cross the plate, but it obviously helps when you have the ability to reach out and hold the pitch in the zone and don't let it run out.
And Fielding Colbreth is the home plate umpire. He's the crew chief. Lance Barrett's at first, Bill Welke at second, and Adrian Johnston's at third. One and two on Nate Shearholtz. Castro at second, Alfonso Soriano at first, and that is outside. 2-2. Padres putting it on St. Louis early, 4-0 in the third in St. Louis. 2 balls, 2 strikes. High rate of foul balls throughout the year when Juan Nicasio's on the hill.
The most has been 33 in 6 innings. The average about 22, which just average at 22 it just kicks up your pitch count so much. We talked about that a minute ago early in the inning.
And now another full count. The bad news here is you're going to have both runners moving. So if Shearholtz gets a knock here, Soriano may be 37, George, but he still runs better than average.
10 stolen bases, have been caught 4 times, and he knows how to run the bases. Todd's going to play deep, so he's going to get 15 to 20 feet out of that. Tulowitzki's playing straight up at shortstop.
And a ground ball to second. So Nicasio gets out of it. It took him 26 pitches. No scores. We go to the bottom half of inning number 1. Fowler will lead things off. Hit a home run last night, provided the Rockies with their entire offense. It was his 11th jack of the year. He'll be followed in the Southwest batting order of Walt Weiss by DJ LeMahieu. It's the same lineup as last night. Cargo will bat third. Tulo had his first 2 hits since coming off the DL yesterday. Michael Kadire had a single yesterday as well. Todd Helton, Willeen Rosario, Nolan Arenado batting in front of Nicasio. Carlos Villanueva's on the hill, a 2-5 record, George, and a guy that has not fared well in his career against the Rockies, whether it's been in a Cubs uniform or a Brewers uniform.
It has not been good. A high fly ball. Soriano will chase it down against the Rockies. 0-2 with a 10.71 ERA. I said 15 in the open, sorry, but in 2013 it's a 12+ ERA. 2-5, 80 2/3. A guy that started and relieved. He finished out the 2012 season where he pitched in Toronto. He's one of those guys bounces back and forth a little bit. Let me take a look at it. He's going to throw his fastball, changeup, and slider. Those are going to be the 3 pitches he'll mix. But the fastball and changeup are the 2 he'll go to normally. Not particularly hard, 87, 88 miles an hour. He relies on contact, strike throwing, and his defense.
He's worked as a starter this year, and he's also worked out of the bullpen. Tonight is 11th start. He has 16 appearances out of the pen. And a base hit for DJ LeMahieu. So DJ reaches in front of Carlos Gonzalez. Cubs defense brought to you by Excel Energy. Make the choices that fit your life. Excel will provide you the energy to power it. Visit responsiblebynature.com to learn more. Alfonso Soriano, Junior Lake, Nate Shearholtz. Shearholtz with a great arm, as we mentioned. Valbuena third. He can play a little second. Starlin Castro, Darwin Barney, steady up the middle. Anthony Rizzo. It's a good defensive infield by and large. Wellington Castillo, pretty good catch and throw guy as well. Cargo 0 for 4 yesterday, leading the league with 25 jacks. Inside ball 1. Cargo 3 for 4 with a home run against Villanueva. Villanueva lost to the Cardinals in his last outing. Actually pitched pretty well. 2 runs over 6 innings, just 4 hits.
He'll show you 4 different pitches. That was the slow curveball. It just drops in the lap of Castillo behind home plate. Something to offset everything else that he's thrown. 6 pitches, 4 strikes so far. With a veteran right-hander. 35 and 40 in his career with a 4.18 earned run average. Drew talked about him working out of the bullpen with the Cubs. He's worked out of the bullpen for the majority of his career. 327 games to 66 starts.
Way off the line at third is Valbuena. 1 out, LeMahieu at first. And this ball is hammered to deep right. Is it going to stay in the yard? Yep, right at the warning track. It's hauled in by Shearholtz.
Well, I'm telling you, the wind had to knock that thing down because off of the bat, it looked like way out.
You know, it was one of those balls may have fooled you. He may have gotten it off the end of the bat.
Well, we'll be able to see right here. You can see it on real speed. Listen up. I went by his reaction at home plate more than I did on the fly to the baseball.
See where he contacts this, George. See if he got it at the end.
Yep, right off the end of the bat. Another couple of inches down, and he's probably looking at a soft trot around the bases.
So 2 outs, and that'll bring up Tulowitzki.
But I'll guarantee you that'll stick in the pitcher's mind next time he comes up.
DJ's been swiping bases. That's why he gets the look there. Rockies fans, we want to get your thoughts as we start the second half of the season tonight during Toyota Talk. Text the word Toyota followed by your questions, actually, not thoughts. We did that last night. Your questions to 720-720 during Toyota Talk. We'll get to that in the fifth inning. Both of Troy's hits last night went to right field. He's got good numbers against Villanueva, also 4 for 7. Kadire, who's on deck, 3 for 9. And Troy went 1 and 2.
I talked about it a lot. Umpires looking at this line, going up the first base line, to bat, get out in front of it. Obviously, he did.
Safe, just got a hand back in.
Well, paying attention for good reason, too. 11 stolen bases. DJ's only been caught 3 times. Hand in, tag on the elbow.
And that just missed. Stay out of the power of Tulowitzki. He's worked off the outer edge.
And the danger you run into if you don't cut the ball and you're a sinker baller is you can run that from the corner to the middle and get hurt.
I think he had Troy fooled a little bit, but he kept his hands back, stayed off it. Now it's 3 and 2, so LeMahieu will be off.
It is missing, but it's missing in a cluster right on the outside corner.
Carlos Villanueva out of Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic, originally signed by the Giants.
I don't think that Villanueva is going to throw a fastball necessarily here either.
No, he uses all 4 of his pitches in any count.
He threw one.
Center field, and Junior Lake will make the catch. The Rockies got a single from LeMahieu, nothing else across. We'll go to inning number 2, no score at Coors Field. Junior Lake first. Tonight's sideline report is brought to you by the Honey Smoked Fish Company, a ready-to-eat, energizing superfood you can add to any dish that's healthy and delicious. Here's Mark Stout. Mark.
All right, Drew George, the bullpen behind me. Rafael Betancourt not there on the DL. Emergency appendectomy yesterday, so he's out at least 2 weeks. Up from Tulsa is Mitchell Boggs, who used to be with St. Louis.
I enjoyed my time in St. Louis thoroughly. You know, it was a great experience for me, but I'm looking forward to the new opportunities here. I'm excited to be with the Rockies, and I'm going to do everything I can to help this team in any way that I can.
Yeah, Colorado acquired Boggs a few weeks ago from the Cardinals. Last year, he led the league in holds with 34. He'll be in the middle of the bullpen wearing number 41. He was in Tulsa. They were playing Little Rock, actually. Got a direct flight here on United to Denver. And here he is at Coors Field, guys.
He was really good last year, Mark. He's a power arm, and that's something the Rockies were looking for. Mitchell Boggs.
He led the National League in holds last year with 34. Enough said. I mean, he's good. He just hit a rough spell.
The league hit about 220 again, yeah. 211 actually against him last year.
I saw him in 2 outings in Tulsa. It was 94 to 98. Slider was very good. He gave up 2 hits in 6 innings. I think he struck out 4, didn't walk a batter. It was a matter of tweaking the delivery, and sometimes a different set of eyes, a different voice, and you turn the corner. Get back to where you once were. Look at what Betancourt was doing in Cleveland. The Rockies got him. He's been pretty good here.
Mitchell Boggs out of Dalton, Georgia. Went to the University of Georgia.
No wonder Higgs was down there today. Paul down there. Hey, buddy, how you doing? I get it. Never mind.
Paul Egan's been a Rockies employee since before opening day '93. Held a lot of roles for years now. The traveling secretary, one of the best at that role in the business, and a University of Georgia alum. And he's like the cowboy. Like we always talk about the cowboy and the University of Wyoming. Well, Eags and the University of Georgia, they're 2 peas in a pod. They love
you go on a football field, you go to a game in Wyoming, and the head coach stops everybody from calisthenics before the game to say hi to Tracy. It's kind of that way with Eags down in Georgia.
3-2 on Lake, and he hits this one foul again. What a debut last night for Junior Lake. He had 3 hits at 4 at bats. He was robbed of a 4th hit. A hard comebacker that De La Rosa flagged. Here's his night. First pitch he sees in the big leagues. He rips down the third base line for a double. And then he had a stolen base a moment later. He's doing his own Gasio Puig. And he walks here to lead off the 2nd inning. Junior Lake became the first Cub to have 3 hits in his major league debut since Kosuke Fukudome. Remember Kosuke?
I do remember him, and he disappeared rather quickly. Follow the Rockies on your phone or iPad with the MLB.com @Bat13 app featuring pitch tracking, stats, highlights, and a whole lot more. How nice is that? A lot of guys out. Terry Shumpert, Tito, Brian Fuentes, Pedro Estacio, all part of the 20th anniversary this weekend. Guys coming by and getting autographs and being a part of it. Nice to see the Rockies bring back part of that past and bring them in.
Yeah, great to see all those guys. But Brian had a nice run here, had a good run in Oakland.
California Angels.
Still one of the toughest guys we've seen in a Rockies uniform on the hill is the gentleman on the far end, Pedro Estacio. Pop throw, and the tag just a little bit tardy trying to get Junior Lake.
What I like what Rosario did was setting of his feet. He didn't get in a big hurry here. He made sure that he was planted and squared and then threw the baseball. That was a really good job of trying to pick off Lake.
Just looked up Kosuke Fukudome.
Yeah.
Playing for Hanshin in Japan.
How's he doing?
You didn't ask me that. You asked me where he's playing.
How's he doing?
Give me a moment.
In the past, Rosario had a tendency to get too quick. Look how squared up he is. Really got that back foot underneath of him, so you're not having an off-balance throw. Something he and Jerry Weinstein have worked on along with Torrey Albert.
George is hitting 170 with 4 home runs.
Yep.
Darwin Barney with a 2-1 count. There goes Lake. Here's the throw to second. It's on the bag, and Junior Lake is cut down. Great transition by Relene Rosario.
Well, again, watch the footwork. Watch how he positions it. It's an outstanding arm. But if you get too quick with your body, the arm's not going to follow where it needs. But everything that time squared, and that was a laser right on top of the bag. That is just outstanding. Watch, not any tail at all on that baseball. Tulowitzki's just got a sore palm from catching it.
Barney to Cargo and left, 2 outs.
Yeah.
Wellington Castillo coming up with 2 gone. Have auto glass damage. Call Safelite Auto Glass at 303-287-5000 or go to safelite.com. Castillo had a base hit last night. That's 2-0. Now bear down here if you're Nicasio. There's 2 outs, nobody on. You have the 8-hole hitter up. Get him out. You start out with the pitcher next inning. And this is looped to right. Kadire will get there. Good jump by Michael. Middle of 2, no score at Coors Field. Rockies and Cubs on a Saturday night in Lodo. big crowd tonight for the Rockies and Cubs. Wells Fargo customers, get your 2-for-1 Rockies club level tickets today by going to wellsfargo.com/Rockies. Wells Fargo Bank, member FDIC. Midsummer in lower downtown Denver, Carlos Villanueva completing his warm-up pitches. Rockies will have Michael Kadire, Todd Helton, and Willeen Rosario. Limited to a run on just 5 hits last night. He's looking to have a great homestand, kick off their second half. They're 26-22 at home, which is solid but not good enough in the big picture.
No, it's not. I mean, this is where you're going to make up ground. Teams in the Central, then you're going to take on the National League East, back to the Central again. And you know that the teams that are 50 games under 500, those are the teams you got to get after. Those 3 teams in that category. Although I will say this about the Chicago Cubs: they're 43-51. This ball club has turned it around. They're playing very good baseball of late. Starting pitching has been much better. For me, it has not been a surprise the way they've played. We saw them in the earlier part, Drew, back in May. We came away from there kind of pleasant surprise for Cub fans that this was a lot better baseball team. 25-21 in their last 46. Prior to that, they'd gone 18-30 in their first 48. Big difference.
Big difference. Here's the 1-2. And a ground ball to Darwin Barney.
Well, the last time Villanueva towed it up against the Rockies, you kind of wish they would have just never turned the lights on at Wrigley. 3 straight night games. Carlos Gonzalez took him deep. A lot of base hits going on in this ball game, and he didn't last long. 5 innings, 7 runs on 12 hits for the Rockies.
Todd Helton with one of those hits, and he's up with 1 out here in the second inning. Todd batting .255. Look out. Villanueva, George, you'll appreciate this. He's kind of old school. I'm not talking about this pitch, but there's an article written about him earlier this year, and he said, you know, I don't hobnob with players before the game on the other team. He said when the other team comes out, he goes, I sprint out to the outfield, keep my distance. He said I'll chat after the game off the field somewhere. He said, but not before the game. I'm trying to get those guys out. Because I'm going to have to stick one in the ribs to somebody one day. This ball's well hit to right, and it is off the very top of the wall. Helton turned it up, and he will have a double. Mr. Double, Todd Helton with a 1-out 2-bagger here in the second. And that ties Wade Boggs for 18th on the all-time doubles list with 578.
578 doubles, a lot more than a lot of guys just get hits in the big leagues. Thought he got him one here. A little bit too much top hand on the Mike Shaw Subaru Super Mode. Watch that top hand roll out over the top of that. Threw some spin on the baseball. Caught the very top of the wall. Todd knew it too. This is enough he's played in this ballpark. He watched Gonzalez's fly to the baseball. He was hustling out of the box to get into the double.
Of all the stats, and talking to Todd, of all the wonderful numbers he's put up in 17 big league seasons, that's the number he's most proud of. And why not? To think now there's only 17 guys. 17 guys.
In the history of the game. Talk about top 100. Well, not only that, think about the other day when he became in the top 100 all-time hits guys.
Yeah,
in the history of the game, there's been 18,000 guys play the game.
Right, that's incredible. But now you're talking about the top 18. Yeah, a very significant category. 2-0 on Willeen Rosario. Colorado trying to get the jump on Chicago tonight. 2-0 pitch to work with for the Rockies catcher. Villanueva in the offseason signed a 2-year, $10 million deal with the Cubs. Son of a civil engineer. Soriano and Lake, Junior Lake, calling, and he makes the catch. 2 outs. Time for our trivia question, brought to you by AT&T. The shortest 9-inning game in Rockies history was June the 30th, 2006 in Seattle. It took 1 hour and 52 minutes. Who was the Rockies starting pitcher that day?
My guy was the starting. Josh, what was his name? Not going to say yet. People at home are trying to guess, right?
That's the idea behind it.
Is it? Well, you used to give it away all the time till they finally put you in the principal's office and you quit doing it.
You can guess all you want. Nolan Arenado with 2 outs and Helton at second. The only hint I'm going to give you is that the answer to this question, that gentleman will be joining us next inning. In living color, right here.
Sure.
Positive.
Won't go to black and white. It could.
On throwback night. It's 2-0. Let's see if Castillo, he glances at the dugout to see if Dale Swain wants Arenado walked intentionally.
And hit well this year with 2 outs with runners in scoring position, coming up with big hits. A home run, 11 RBIs, and a .276 average. Overall on the season, .232 with runners in scoring position. So favorable, more favorable in this situation than it has been just with runners in scoring position. I mentioned this last night. I watched this kid bear down in the Texas League in the last half of the Texas League last year, and the Cal League when he was the MVP. And situations like this, big hit after big hit, they're going to go ahead and walk him.
Juan Nicasio come up with 2 on and 2 outs. Juan has hit 190 this year. He's driven in a couple of runs. Dirt, 1 ball, 1 strike. Helton at second, he doubled. Nolan Arenado just given the intentional pass. No score, bottom of 2. Rockies with a couple of hits, Cubs with just 1.
And not a bad move by Dale Swain. Go ahead and get your pitcher up. Let him swing the bat. Take the pressure off of Villanueva, who has not pitched well against the Rockies in his career.
On the ground is short. Castro will flip to Barney, and the Rockies are done in the second. We move to inning number 3. No score at Coors Field. 9-1-2 in the batting order for the Chicago Cubs. And our AT&T trivia question once again, the shortest 9-inning game in Rockies history. Took an hour and 52 minutes. I remember well, June the 30th, 2006, a beautiful 3-day weekend in Seattle. And we want to know who the Rockies starting pitcher was. The Dragon Slayer, of course, Josh Fogg. He threw a 2-hit shutout. Walked one, struck out one. It was vintage Josh Fogg, who joins us now because when we do our AT&T trivia questions, we like to fly in the person that was involved. Fogg just jumped out of class. Right, absolutely. Right. How you been, man?
Doing great, doing great.
You look good. You're tan. You got the Florida tan going.
A little bit of golf, you know. I get to play a little bit of golf now and again, so it's tough in Florida not to be tan.
And a little coaching too, huh?
Yeah, a little basketball coaching, baseball coaching for my son Coy, who's turned 7 this year. So yeah, it's staying busy.
Good deal.
You were my guy that night, by the way, an hour and 52 minutes. It's the only game I broadcasted 17 years of Rockies broadcast. It was over before the sunset.
I just saw I had 1 strikeout. How do you strike out 1 guy in 9 innings? That's pretty sad.
That was good. I was happy. You only threw like 80 pitches. It was great.
You'll remember this. Was it 1 over the minimum? Because there was a double play behind you.
It was 20.
It was 27?
Yeah, because I had walked a guy and had 2 hits, but there were 3 double plays. They got erased every inning. So yeah, it was.
Do you coach that, by the way?
I would have done it again if I knew what I was doing.
Over and over and over again. Yeah, exactly.
I might be standing out there still if I could do that. But
how much fun is this, though? The Rockies have brought you back, and a lot of your former teammates, and a lot of guys that you read about who played for the Rockies. Some you competed against, some guys who arrived before you arrived in the big leagues. Pretty neat stuff, though.
It is. It's great, and getting to see guys that I haven't seen in a while. Like JJ and. I was out here last year and saw Todd and Tulo, but Chacon, I haven't seen him in probably 4 or 5 years. JJ, I haven't seen him since he got traded to Houston that year, or left to go to Houston that year. So to get to see those guys again and to meet the new guy, the guys, Big Cat, I got to ride in, it was the same plane as the Big Cat. That was one of the coolest things I've seen.
Big Cat plays a lot of golf not too far from you.
Yeah, he's down in West Palm, I think. Or
he lives around the corner from Walker.
Yeah, he said he plays all the time. I've seen Larry out on a couple courses, but I've never seen the Big Cat out there.
Big Cat looks like he can hit the golf ball probably twice as far as he hit the baseball, and we know how far he hit the baseball.
I'm sure he doesn't get cheated when he's swinging, that's for sure.
Look what we're going to do for you. We're going to show some highlights of Josh Fogg in a Rockies uniform. Here he is.
Sitting on the bench.
Yeah,
I did a lot of that in my time.
There it is. Okay.
My favorite pitch
My
favorite pitch, I used to say it, when you get ahead 1-2, 0-2, the front door cutter.
Yeah, I think that bought me a couple more years in the league. I didn't really have that for a while, so that was it was a nice little added addition to my repertoire.
And in all seriousness, I don't see, Josh, a lot of guys throw that to right-handed hitters, right-handed pitchers to right-handed hitters, that little front door. They give up on it thinking, oh, it's inside, and all of a sudden it cuts over the inside corner.
Well, the only bad thing about it is if you start it on the inside and then it cuts over to the middle, it's pretty much a home run pitch. It's called a barrel finder. So
that's the official term for it.
When you miss with it, it usually gets hit hard. But when you throw it right, it usually gets taken. So it's kind of a live or die on it.
I heard Jason earlier in an interview in the pregame show, the things he missed most was riding on the airplane, sitting around the locker room, kicking it around with the guys.
Without a doubt. I mean, and we've all talked about it, sit here and watch a game, and, I could kind of put myself out there in that situation, but the stress of the game right now, I wouldn't be able to handle it, So I don't miss the actual part of being out there and stressing out and having to, perform every 5 days, but you definitely miss the camaraderie, the guys in the locker room. The plane flights were great. Just going to dinners and that kind of stuff. That's the stuff that everybody remembers.
It's cool, and I'll share this on the air. You and I were chatting about it yesterday. We're up in Breckenridge during the break, and we're in a restaurant with my 3 boys, my wife, and game 163 comes on. And we stayed there watching the entire thing. They were trying to kick us out of the restaurant. We wait. The Rockies are scored here in the 12th inning. This ball's well hit. And it is going to sail on out of here. Luis Valbuena, who hit 4 home runs all of last year, has just hit his 9th. And the Cubs have a 1-0 lead. So that's where somebody in the bullpen ought to fire it back in, Wrigley Field style.
You get kicked out of the game for that or something? You kick the players out?
You might have to leave the bullpen for an inning. Put your nose in the corner, then they let you back. Well, let's take a look at the pitch from Juan Nicasio. Pretty much center cut, and then not where you want to put it. Able to jump on this fastball out front. The Mike Shaw Super Bowl show squared right in the middle of that barrel Josh was talking about.
Little barrel finder there.
Yeah, right center field. You know, when you got a lot of fastballs and you're inconsistent with your secondary stuff, I mean, it's difficult to pitch at this level. And Juan's been developing both of those secondary pitches as kind of as a progress for him. And the days it's really good, like last week in L.A., 8 innings, 3 hits, nothing. There were 7 innings, 3 hits, nothing showed up. But tonight, the Cubs on the board early.
1-1 on Starlin Castro. Just to finish that story, so the ball game comes on. We watch it in its entirety in the restaurant, and it reminded me of the story. And you were one of the most popular guys in the clubhouse, and so the season ends tied up, and you know there's going to be a huge playing game the next day. And Clint, as the story goes in the locker room, said, "All right, you know what? We're give baseball to Fogger," and I can't say exactly what Tulo said. He says, "We have no shot."
Yeah.
And he was obviously teasing.
Well, it was dead quiet. Everybody, we had just won, and I think Clint said, we're going to face PV tomorrow. They've held him back so that he can pitch the playing game, and he said we're gonna throw Fog, and everybody was dead quiet. And Tulo said, "We got no chance." And everybody just started dying laughing. So it was that's the kind of team we had that year, though. There was nothing was off limits. I mean, it didn't matter if you were good, bad. If you had a good game, they were gonna let you know about some of your bad ones too. So
you had a really fine career, and I would think, correct me if I'm wrong, one of the things you have to be really proud of is you earned the nickname the Dragon Slayer here, because you'd match up with a guy like Peavy, and on paper, Peavy's a Cy Young guy, and people are going to say, well, this is the night that the Peavies of the world are going to win, and you would take those guys out. It seemed like more often than not.
I'm sure Vegas had some odds against me in a lot of games.
Kurt Schilling in Boston too.
Yeah.
Shut out Boston up there against Schilling.
Yeah, so I mean,
beat the Yankees here.
I enjoyed competing. So I mean, it wasn't really like the old saying is I'm not pitching against the other pitcher. I'm pitching against the lineup. So that was my job to go out there and get their hitters out. I didn't really have to worry what PV was doing. I mean, it wasn't fun when the guys were out there mowing though, and if you give up 1 or 2, you're taking the L that day. But we had some pretty good offensive teams here too, so we didn't take many 1 or 2 run losses.
Do you still follow the Rockies from afar?
Yeah,
you played for a number of teams.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely claim the Rockies as the team that I root for now. I mean, I'm played in 4 years in Pittsburgh, but we didn't win any games there. So it's nice to see him winning now.
Yeah.
And that Hurdle's over there, and he's doing a good job. So it's nice to see that. But I definitely, if someone asked me, I'm a Rocky fan.
Good. Anthony Rizzo at the plate takes the first 2 out of the zone.
What was hard for you about this ballpark?
I mean, I loved it here. I mean, the only thing that everybody says, the air, the humidor, and if you can sit here and look at it now, the amount of grass out there is what kills you. It's the blooper that goes over the second baseman's head that Cargo can't get to, and then the next guy hits a broken bat, and then the next guy hits the home runs. The 3-run homers that get you. So there's so much area out there. So I think they've done a good job of with Dexter out in center field, he covers a ton of ground. Cargo can do the same thing. I don't know about Ketty. I don't know how well he runs out there.
He runs pretty good.
So yeah, I mean, I think you have to have a speedy outfield here to make up for some of those. It saves a lot of earned runs down the road.
3-1 on Rizzo. That's in here. You're an oddity in that you were a college closer at the University of Florida, and a darn good one, and you become a starting pitcher in the big leagues. Usually it works the other way if it's going to happen.
Yeah, and I remember getting the phone call from the White Sox, and they flat out just asked me, hey, what do you want to close or you want to start? And I said, I'll try starting. I haven't done it. I've only done it a few times in high school, and then started 1 or 2 games in college. But I loved closing. I thought it was one of the most fun things. But being a starting pitcher in the big leagues is where it's at.
They're going to yell at me if I don't go to a break. Can you stick around another half inning?
Yeah, sure.
Josh Fogg will continue with Josh when we come back. Rockies down 1-0 on the Valbuena home run. Cubs up 1-0 as we go to the bottom of the third. It'll be the top of the order for the Rockies. Dexter Fowler, DJ LeMahieu, Carlos Gonzalez against Carlos Villanueva. Drew Goodman, George Frazier, Mark Stout's downstairs, and Josh Fogg back in town with some of his ex-teammates has joined us up in the booth. Are you at the point yet where the stories become significantly exaggerated?
I try not to exaggerate them because, you know, someone's always there that knows the truth. So
well,
and that just causes more trouble for you.
The other bad thing is now they have facts to back up. When I tell them when I played, they didn't have all the facts. So you can say whatever you want.
Get on your phone and find out exactly what happened.
Yeah, right.
Find all the box scores probably if you really wanted to.
Inside on Dexter, 2-1. Who were we talking to? Oh, you know what I didn't realize? You always find something new. You and Jennings faced each other in college when Jason was at Baylor and you were at Florida in a regional.
Yeah. I think he beat us, actually. We had a couple of losers bracket that time.
To the College World Series. Where's the College World Series rank in terms of baseball memories?
At the time, it was #1. You know, that was just one of those things that it was. You know, it was the lead up to what we were doing in college. And you know how college programs are. They're all gung-ho and they're rah-rah. So to get there 2 out of the 3 years I was there was amazing. And
a lot of big leaguers on that team.
Yeah, I think 7. It was crazy. But you know, you get to the big leagues and that Rosenblatt Stadium all of a sudden it wasn't as big as I remember it being. You know, it was still nice, but you can come to places like this and you realize this is the pinnacle now.
And Coors Field. Last night there was almost 44,000. Coors Field, one of the biggest stadiums in baseball.
Well, and imagine this: you walk around it, how clean it is, and it's the 3rd oldest park in the National League.
I always say that whoever designed it and built it, they were way ahead of their time because it's still. I mean, you go to the new stadiums, you go to San Fran, you go to Pittsburgh. This stadium still looks as nice as all those do. You know,
Barney would have had a chance for a double play because the Rockies put Fowler in motion, and LeMahieu hit the ball right where Barney was breaking to. He just didn't field it cleanly. So the Rockies have the tying run at second with 1 out.
It's one of those hops coming right at you to second base. And kind of watch out because it took a wicked hop right at the very end as he started to try to flip this thing. Fought it off the glove and then on to first base.
When you were on the hill, Josh, and you were facing a guy like Cargo or Tulo, and you look up there and you say, man, where are the holes? I mean, was it even though you obviously are very good at your craft, was it intimidating at times?
I mean, you definitely couldn't. You can't give hitters too much respect. I mean, you look at his numbers right now. He gets out 7 out of 10 times still. You know, it's still. I mean, he's having a great year, he's hitting 300, but he still gets out. You know, 70% of the time. So the odds are in my favor that he's going to get himself out. So if I make a decent pitch that I think is probably going to get him out, I think the odds go up. If I make a bad pitch, and he's going to hit hard. So, but yeah, I mean, I remember early on in my career facing Pujols and those guys, and it can get a little intimidating, but you still got to go out there and think you're better than them, even if you're not.
Well, you know what? That's why being a part-time mathematician pays off, right?
Yes. My high school coach always told me, fake it till you make it. You know? Even if you're not confident, just pretend like you are. No one will know.
Fowler at second, a 2-0 count for Cargo to work with. 1-0 Chicago, bottom of inning number 3.
Well, that's why I always liked it when you were on the mound, regardless. I'm not saying it because you're here, but you controlled the pace and rhythm of a game.
Yeah, and I think that, I mean, that was something I tried to do because I knew that there was going to be a lot of balls put in play that day. You know, I wasn't going to go strike out 10. I wasn't going to, light up the radar gun. So I needed my defense to be out there and wanting to play. And I think working fast and throwing strikes, I think guys enjoyed playing defense behind me. And I think that's why, I got a lot of good defensive plays behind me. So that didn't hurt to have Todd help. Tulo and Jamie Carroll, those guys back there, they're picking pretty good.
4-pitch walk to Cargo, and now the aforementioned Tulowitzki will come up. 2 on and 1 out. Troy hit a ball to fairly deep center field his first time up. When you, on the occasion that you reflect back, not only on game 163, but beyond, and 21 out of 22, and you arrive at the World Series, are there certain moments that still stick out for you as if it was yesterday?
Yeah, I mean that whole 3-week span that we went through. I don't know, maybe a little bit longer than 3 weeks, but those are very vivid memories that, you know, it was kind of surreal being involved in it. No one really talked about what we were doing because everybody just knew it was happening. But, you know, it's very fresh, and I think almost every guy in that locker room will be fresh in their head forever.
Really remarkable stuff. I still think that game that you started against Peavy is one, and forget our allegiance and all that, that's one of the 5 greatest baseball games I've ever seen.
Yeah, I think if it would have been on the East Coast or something,
sure,
where everybody would have been watching it, I think a lot of East Coast people were in bed when the game got good. So it's the best game no one ever saw, probably.
You know what? It's probably a very good way and an appropriate way of describing 1-0 on Tulowitzki. Wind is really kicked up.
Is that rain or is that just
Dust.
fog? Dust.
It's a little Oklahoma dust storm here in Colorado.
Smog from LA made it over the mountain.
Or Villanueva on Josh Fogg like right now. Fogger would have like 15 pitches between the two we just saw.
He's searching for it out there right now. I don't think he wants to throw too low.
And that's a bad feeling when you don't have your breaking ball. You can't throw it for a strike. You're missing with your fastball, and then Tulowitzki's up. And you're kind of like, well, okay.
The 70%'s going down a little bit right here.
Right now. Yeah.
He might be a little bit closer to 50 right now.
Good speed on base, and there's one, and there's two.
Come on.
Fogger,
he looked kind of like you out there, like a cat.
That's a
Josh,
pitcher's best friend.
It's great to see you, man.
Thanks, Drew.
You
Appreciate
look
it.
good, you bet.
Thank you, guys.
You bet.
Be careful. Have fun. Keep coaching.
Keep coaching, exactly. Josh Fogg, Rockies trailing 1-0.
Cubs have a 1-0 lead. I want to give you kind of cool this date in history in terms of baseball. David Bell is the third base coach for the Cubs. His brother Mike Bell made his major league debut on this day in the year 2000 with the Cincinnati Reds. That meant that Gus, Buddy, and Mike Bell, 3 generations of Bells, played for the same team, the Reds. I talked to David Bell today. He became the third base coach for the Cubs. Mike Bell is player development for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Buddy Bell, his dad, he's a GM with the White Sox. He said it's kind of cool now. David is living in Chicago. He can see his mom and his dad a little bit more often, although it's difficult during baseball season, and at least the 4 times, guys, when the Cubs and the White Sox play in interleague games. So family's kind of back together again.
Well, they're one of the great baseball families, obviously, in the history of the game. Think of the
Well, Buddy's role is actually assistant general manager for the Cubs, or for the White Sox, and he's in charge of their international, their minor leagues, everything involved at the lower levels. Folks, right now with this wind coming in, if you get a high fly ball or even a line drive like that, it's going to be a lot of fun trying to play this. The Bluebell weather update is now.
temperature's the same, the field conditions the same.
But the wind is kicked up to 15 miles an hour from the northeast.
I think it's stronger than 15. The wind blows in Oklahoma, and I know this is stronger than 15.
I know it is because my papers are flying around.
So which guy in the truck went out and stuck his finger up in there to see how long it took to dry and then said it's 15 miles an hour? Was that Mike Fox or Jim Armentrout? It was Javier. I got it.
Nate Shearholt's grounded second his first time up. Just saw Toto fly by, George.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. You saw a what fly by? A turtle.
No, Toto.
Oh, I thought you said turtle. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Was Annie M with her?
No, she just went by. Two and one, Nicasio facing Shearholtz. Difference in this game, a Luis Valbuena home run last inning. 2-2.
Nicasio's fastballs averaged 90 to 93 most of the night. Had good run and sink to it. 73 pitches though, with one out here in the fourth. Numbers climbing with all these foul balls. I bet there's been 20 foul balls in this game, at least.
2-2 on Shearholtz. And this is a high fly ball to deep right field. Kadire hoping for a play, and he'll have one. Wind may have kept this one in the ballpark.
Well, I agree, Drew. I think this ball was hit very high, very long, and it's one of those that gets about 2 rows up into the seats. And it just knocked it down right in front. See Kadire, he's feeling for that wall. Where is it? Still got room, got to play on the baseball.
Junior Lake walked his first time up. He's got an 800 on base percentage in the big leagues. 3 for 4 in his big league debut last night. And a walk his first time. Good to see Josh Fogg. Always one of our favorites. Just, you know what, he had, of all the guys we've come in contact with through the years, there's been a lot of great guys who've worn Rockies uniforms. Just one of the most consistent personalities.
Oh, he's happy. And he gets it. He understands what the media means to baseball. He understands what the fans mean, what the game means, how lucky he is to be a part of it. He gets it. Well, I want to ask Mark real quick. He said he's on the Wells Fargo club level, I think, outside, I think.
Yeah, can you hear the wind?
I can hear the wind.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like it's coming around that left field corner pretty good.
Coming through there, right around home plate. It's late singles. And you can see the hot dog wrappers and the plastic everywhere. It's swirling down the field level. But it's picked up over the last inning and a half.
Now you can see the robo cameras now getting a little bit of a ride for its money.
Yeah, the famous Dave's barbecue, the smoke doesn't have much of a chance when it hits the air. It's gone towards second base.
Two-out single for Junior Lake. Darwin Barney at the plate. And this is to deep short. Tulo works around it, and he gets it to Helton nick of time. Great play by Troy Tulowitzki. So we'll go to the bottom of the fourth inning. The Cubs 1 and the Rockies nothing. look back. There's one run in the game, a solo home run from Luis Valbuena, the leadoff hitter for the Chicago Cubs. Came in his second at bat against Juan Nicasio. Last night the Cubs took a 1-0 lead on a home run from Alfonso Soriano. Rockies got their lone run in the series so far on a home run from Dexter Fowler in the 4th inning last night. They have not scored since then. Michael Kadire will lead it off. He bounced to second his first time. Rockies have 2 hits in the game, a single by LeMahieu and a double by Todd Helton.
I'll tell you right now, there is a huge gust of wind. Villanueva stepped off because he couldn't keep his balance in his delivery, and you see a lot of debris flying across Coors Field right now.
We have to update the Bluebell weather again, Bluebell ice cream weather, because this is not a 15-mile-an-hour wind.
See, you know what you do in Oklahoma? You go out, you lick your finger, you stick it in the air, and you start counting. And how long before it's dry, that's how many miles an hour it's blowing. Didn't know that, did you?
No, I didn't.
A lot of tornadoes in there, you know. You got to figure things out on your own sometimes.
That thing went off the very end of the bat. I'm telling you what, it wasn't foul by a lot.
About 3 inches.
Michael was patient.
Who was the guy with the Twins last year? Remember, one like 6 feet into foul territory, and he didn't run, then he took off running and spun and came back into fair territory, and he got a base hit out of it. I don't remember who that was.
This is in the air to right. Shearholtz will not have a play.
Was told by the truck that our production truck, 35-mile-an-hour gust right now at Coors Field.
George, the truck also had another suggestion. Why don't you lick that finger, stick it out of the booth, and count?
.37 mile-an-hour gust.
High fly ball to deep right, and it is foul. That had home run distance.
That's called playing the wind. Just started a little more in fair territory.
Wow, that's called a hazy sunset. It's not time for the sun to set yet, though. Another 1-2. 2-2. Kadire leading off the 4th. He's trying to break out offensively. Well, if some shingles fly off your neighbor's roof and strike your windshield, you'll need Safelite Auto Glass. 303-287-5000 or go to safelight.com.
I like the way you changed that up.
To third, Valbuena throws out Kadire. Time for Coors Light Cold Hard Fact. Eric Young, the only Cub since 1900 to steal 5 bases in the same game. It happened against the Expos back in May of 2000. He also has the most stolen bases in one game in Rockies history when he swiped 6 against the Dodgers, his original club, in 1996. And Helton with another base hit. Todd's 2 for 2. Single and a double for Helton. And that'll bring up Willeen Rosario. Todd 98th on the all-time hit list in front of Ted Simmons. And chasing down the crime dog, Fred McGriff. Haven't hit one of those periods, George, where they usually do at Coors Field in the middle of the summer, where they throw 8 out, 9 out, 7 out, 12 out, 10 out. It's like a week where you look at the numbers and you say, wow.
Well,
average
you just
8.5 runs a game.
A lot of home runs mixed in with it.
1 and 1. Well, until that happens, you have to be opportunistic with your offense. Just find a way to get one more than the opponent. This is sliced to right and over the head of Shearholz. The wind may have affected that. Helton is going to get a late stop sign, and Rosario, who literally was 50 feet of the 90 feet toward third base, had to slam on the brakes and work his way back to second.
Misread by Shearholz. Obviously the wind played a role in that, and a strong guy at the home plate in Rosario that hit it. Line shot off the bat. Todd looks up thinking that this ball is going to get over the head. It does get over his head, but then Todd tried to turn it up going into third base. And Rosario looked back over, but he never looked out in front of him. He was looking at the play and where the ball was and not picking up Stu Cole and the lead runner in front of him.
And they're going to pitch to Arenado. At least they appear to look like they're going to pitch to Arenado. They did this in the second inning. They got behind 3-0 and then intentionally walked him.
A little different situation here, though. Second, third, 1-run lead. You get to 2-0 here, I think it'll be automatic.
See, I don't even know why you're messing around. Slowly hit to first, bobbled, Durant will score. Rizzo tags out Arenado. I don't know why you do it that way. Why not load the bases, and Nicasio's going to hit, and that's where the manager probably hopes it strikes out, and then it comes down to the 2-out situation where you're facing Dexter Fowler. Now, not that you want to face Dexter Fowler, but going back to what Josh Fox said, 70+% chance you're going to get him out.
Well, the Rockies are hoping Nicasio would strike out with the bases loaded. Dale Swaim's hoping he'd hit the ball in play somewhere like he did previously and get a double play ball out of it.
That's what I mean. I don't know why you wouldn't set up the force all the way around, especially if you did it in the second inning with a runner at second, as opposed to runners at second and third. So Arenado with his 28th RBI. Rosario at third. 1-2.
Tried to entice the swing on the breaking ball again to go 2-2. Dollar Hot Dog Day is coming up again at the ballpark, so make sure you get out here on July 23rd. First 10,000, you get a Hebrew National Hot Dog coupon. So get your tickets now for that ball game, as Miami will be in town June 23rd, Tuesday. 303 Rockies, Rockies.com/specials for more ticket information to watch the Miami Ball Club and your Colorado Rockies. You'll walk Nicasio. Take advantage of this.
So Carlos Villanueva loses Juan Nicasio, and Fowler will hit first and third and 2 outs in a 1-1 affair. Changeups high. Rockies fans join Root Sports and the Rockies in their new initiative, Hit Count. Support the Children's Hospital and Special Olympics Colorado in the process. Here's how you do it. You back your favorite player. Your donation is determined by the number of hits he has the second half of the season. Each player's stats will be shown online to track throughout the second half. For more information and to back your players, visit Rockies.com/hitcount. Back Dexter Fowler and see if he can come up with one right here. Rosario, the go-ahead run at third. Juan Nicasio's at first. Over there saying, listen, dude, I've only been on base a couple times this year. Now you think I'm going to steal, huh?
It's not fun when you get picked off at first.
Happened to
the
you.
Pitcher. Yeah. First swing I ever took at the big leagues, I got picked.
Happened to Walt Weiss his first time on base in the big leagues.
Glad to hear I wasn't the only one.
Outside, here's what Dex did in his second at bat yesterday against hard-throwing Jeff Samardzija. Took a heater and hammered it.
Dead center field, ran out of real estate for Lake as it ended up in the pond at center. See that for Dexter. Picked up his 11th home run. He's third in the National League now with leadoff home runs in a ball game. Chu with the Cincinnati Reds leads it at this time. Went off speed with a lot of movement down. Chu has 13. Starling Marte has 10. Dexter with 8. Obviously
Change speeds again, 2-2.
A lot of deception with this changeup. The circle change. Watch the hand pronate to the inside when it gets out to finish. With that reverse spin and dive on the baseball with very good arm action. All that on your Mike Shaw Subaru Super Mo.
2-2. Tried to paint a fastball. He thought he did. Did a little pirouette to show his disappointment.
Just off the plate on that outside corner. You gotta have a pretty good eye to take something like that if you're Dexter Fowler.
3-2. Nicasio will be off with the pitch, 2 outs. Rosario at third. This ball pulled to right, and it is fair. Nicasio, who is running, will get a green light. And their throw to the plate, not in time. Dexter to third, and the Rockies have a 3-1 lead. Dexter Fowler coming through.
RBIs 28 and 29 for Fowler. Excuse me. Yes, 28 and 29 for Fowler. As he raked this ball down the right field line, tried to trick again with the off-speed pitch, and it didn't happen. Fowler yanked this down into the corner. I thought Schuerholz, when he hit the second baseman on the cutoff, he didn't have a shot at the plate. They had a shot at third on Fowler. They didn't take it. They went to home plate with it, and as a result, the Rockies a couple of runs.
LeMahieu and DJ, who is 1 for 2, takes low ball 1. And they are going to score that straight as a triple. Well, they may score it as a double, and Fowler went to third on the throw, but they'll give Dex his 3rd triple of the year. 2-0 with Cargo on deck. And all of a sudden, guys stretching pretty quickly in that Cubs bullpen. Boy, that's a big swing of the bat from Dexter Fowler.
But think about that hard sinker on the outside corner. He did not get called a strike. Now, it wasn't a strike, but it's a close enough pitch. 90% of the time, you see an umpire ring a guy up on it. Then he made him pay for it. He went back to the off-speed pitch, and he just jerked it in the corner.
Two-one. And LeMahieu drives this ball deep center field. Junior Lake will run it down. It's a good play by Lake. LeMahieu gave it a ride. Rockies scored 3 times in the 4th to take a 3-1 lead. Root Sports is brought to you by the Ford Fiesta with 40 miles per gallon. It's a pretty big deal. Ford Fiesta, go further. By Southwest Airlines, find our fares online only at southwest.com. And by CenturyLink, your link to what's next. Colorado School of the Mines. Colorado School of Mines, I should say, of the Mines. Over in Golden, pretty shot of that. The wind still gusting, not as severely as it was a few minutes ago. Rockies have a 3-1 lead. Final 2 runs driven in by that man, Dexter Fowler. We go to the 5th inning. It is our Toyota Talk inning. Wellington Castillo, Carlos Villanueva, and Luis Valbuena scheduled against Juan Nicasio. Nicasio has given up a home run in the game to Valbuena. It's the entire offense through 4 innings for the Cubs. First question, looks packed tonight. Where does Coors rank in attendance this year. That's Jen and Salida. Well, the Rockies are 9th right now overall in attendance in Major League Baseball. Top 3rd, that's excellent.
Well, you're right. There's a lot of Cub fans here. What team brings the best? I think the Giants travel pretty good. Well, that last series here with the Giants, a lot of people showed up. Here's a fly ball to left. Cargo will get under. Atlanta Braves, because of their TV network in years past, they seem a good ball club. The Dodgers travel pretty good.
I think the two best clearly are the Cubs and the Cardinals. I think when you look at Coors Field, the two teams that come here where you see a lot of fans of the opposition are when the Cubs are here and clearly when the Cardinals are here.
Cardinals travel well because of all their success the last 10 years. And you go to St. Louis, it's a packed house every day. I mean, it might be the hottest stick in Missouri.
1-0 on Carlos Villanueva. Good swing. 1-1. Inside, 2-1. What team has been no-hit the most? Diane in Colorado Springs. Well, the Phillies have been around a long time, and they've been no-hit 18 times. Ocasio's allowed 3 hits. He's walked 2, and he just struck out Villanueva. That's his 3rd strikeout. 2 outs, nobody on, and Valbuena come up. What are the responsibilities of the hitting coach, Bob in Centennial?
Well, obviously take care of the hitting. Dante Bichette, I think the mental preparation side of it, making sure everybody knows what the guy throws, when he throws it counts. And I think sometimes you just let your natural ability go hit the baseball. You don't try to overload it with too much information. I think in today's game, in today's society, there is so much information out there, websites on every hitter, pitcher in the National League, that you can overload guys to where they don't feel like they can throw a pitch in any area. It's going to get hit. Or there's no way I'm ever going to get a hit off of this guy because he's really good. So I think sometimes as a hitting coach you have to pick who you give the information to and how much you give. But also the early batting practice before the game, in the cages at 1 o'clock in the afternoon after the games when the guys ask that are struggling. It's a long, hard job.
3-0 on Valbuena. Tell you what, Walt Weiss, who was a solid offensive player, he's better known for his defensive skills at shortstop. 3-1. Outstanding student of the art of hitting, and he loves to talk hitting, loves to teach hitting. Jim Tracy was that way also.
I think most guys that manage that are position guys who played every day like to talk about hitting. And they watch hitters and how to get hitters out. You know, Walt has had the opportunity to sit in the dugout, not as a manager, but as a coach, and watch the game.
(3-2) hard shot. DJ LeMahieu comes up with it. 1, 2, 3, 5th inning for Juan Nicasio, who nods his approval. That's outstanding. 3-1 Colorado. presented by SkyVenture Colorado's indoor skydiving. Highest post All-Star break batting average since 2009. Tulowitzki's been a great second half player. 342 average. A lot of MVPs up there. Mauer, Cabrera, Braun, Buster Posey. Cargo at the plate, takes inside. If you've ever dreamed of flying, now's your chance. Visit SkyVentureColorado.com for more information. Rockies will have the heart of the lineup. Cargo, Tulowitzki, and Kadire here against Villanueva in the 5th. Got 3 last inning against Carlos. Cargo flirted with a home run his first time up. Shearholtz caught one right at the edge of the wall in right field. His last time up, he didn't get a pitch to hit. 4 out of the zone. So he's 0 for 1 in that walk. 2-0 right now.
Veteran pitchers will do that. Off-speed pitch and a 2-0 count. Slow curveball.
George
dropped it in the lap.
I don't think I've seen him behind an account 2-0 throw a fastball yet tonight.
88 to 90 is his average fastball, so you're not going to see him go after one.
High fly ball, deep right center field. Shearholtz can spectate. This one's gone.
Way gone.
Home run number 26 for Cargo. And the Rockies have a 4-1 lead.
Basically set this on a tee and see how far it goes. I mean, this ball was smacked. Shearholtz looked, took 2 steps and said, I'll just watch the flight of this one. That one wasn't off the end of the bat. That was barreled up. And he knew it.
Not his first tour around the bases.
What about this? Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo. I tell you what, how much fun is this? When you hit him as far and as hard as he does, you like stand and watch a little bit. Wouldn't blame him.
That is a big fly. Cargo at 26, 2 in front of Pedro Alvarez and Dominic Brown in the National League home run race. You know, he has a possibility, George, a strong possibility in his career. We talked about Miguel Cabrera, the Triple Crown last year, and had it happen in 40 seasons. Cargo, more than 40 seasons. Cargo has won a batting title. He's leading the home run chase this year. And at some point in time, he could win an RBI title also.
Oh, I agree. I think he has the chance to be that guy. I mean, he's got a chance to hit 350. He's got a chance to hit 45. He's got a chance to drive in 130, 140 RBIs.
And Tulo follows with a base knock.
I do think the one thing that hurts him, he plays a lot of games in San Francisco where the ball doesn't carry, in LA the ball doesn't carry, and in Petco where the ball doesn't carry. So you're playing 27 games in those parks. A little different than playing, say, you know, where they do where Detroit's in the Central, the ball flies.
It's funny how nationally nobody talks about that.
Yeah, they only want to talk about Coors Field and how it gives up runs. Yet it's not even in the top 10, I don't think, this year in runs relinquished.
And Cargo's hit more home runs on the road this year anyhow. Yeah. And he's hit for a much higher average on the road. And this is to shallow center. Lake misread it. Good read on the base pass by Tulowitzki. Now Cuddy going for second, and he'll get there. Rockies turning up the heat on the Cubs. Second and third, nobody out. It'll be a single and an error on Junior Lake.
Tried to barehand the ball versus taking it with his glove. And when he did, he took off on the fly, meaning Michael Kadire, only because he plays the game right. You see, it's right off the end of the bat. Got out in front of the pitch, dumped it out into the outfield, and then it's just time to take off. But again, Kadire's one of those guys, when he saw that ball get by him in the outfield, it's a straight sprint into second, safe. Tulowitzki was coasting into third, and no anticipation of the ball going anywhere. Todd held the double off the wall and a single.
Michael Bowden throwing. Chance to give the Rockies a 5-run lead. with a knock. That's on the corner for a strike, according to Field and Colbreth. It's 0-1. Tulowitzki is single. He's at third. Kadyr's at second. Inning began with a mammoth home run from Carlos Gonzalez. 4-1 Colorado. And Todd held up, but it was called a strike, so it's 0-2. Numbers with runners in scoring position this year.
Trying to elevate a fastball in. Todd was looking right at it. That's the quick hands you saw about 7-8 years ago on a ball in. This ball's coming right at Helton on his hands. He got those hands inside the baseball and just pulled and fouled. Man, on this Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo, there's no way too many guys in baseball get their hands that far through on a heater and pull it that foul.
And Todd soft serves his to right center field. 1 run will score. And Kadir will move 90 feet. Helton's 3 for 3. And the Rockies have a 5-1 lead. 4 straight hits against Villanueva in the 5th inning.
And Dale Swain trying to say, all right, where are we going with this? We get out into this bullpen and get it going, because right now it's not fair to the kid. I mean, he's given up a lot of hits here. Nasty, nasty changeup down and away. Look at Helton keep the hands back. Reach out and just flip the bat with one hand. You talk about a great hand-eye coordination to dump this ball out into the outfield. But nobody can make a play on it. The run comes around to score in Tulowitzki. Kadir moves to third, and they will go to the bullpen.
So Villanueva walks off. Michael Bowden will jog in. We will step aside. Rockies 5, Cubs 1. Nobody out in the 5th. (720) and receive text message updates all season long. Rockies got 3 in the 4th inning, and they've just chased Carlos Villanueva with 4 straight hits to begin the 5th. Beautiful night at Coors Field, albeit a little bit windy. Home run by Cargo, single by Tulowitzki, single by Kadir, single by Helton. 5-1 Colorado. Michael Bowden is now on. Bowden, one of just a couple of guys, George, that has been in the Cubs bullpen all year long. They've kind of remade things down there.
And appearance-wise, he appeared in May against the Rockies, 2 innings, 2 hits, a strikeout. The last appearance came against the Cardinals, 3rd of an inning, he struck out a bat. So nobody out, 1st and 3rd. The Rockies on top 5-1 and looking to do more damage with Willeen Rosario and Nolan Arenado.
And I should clarify with Bolton, even he hasn't been there the whole year. He was sent out a couple of times, but he started the year in the bullpen.
Right.
He was on the opening day roster. And their closer wasn't. They got him off waivers from the Dodgers and Kevin Gregg. Here's Rosario, 1 for 2, and he takes a strike. Willeen a line double to deep right his last time up. At third base is Kadire, at first base help. And a base hit to center field. Rosario knocks in Kadire at 6-1. 5 straight hits for the Rockies in the 5th. The 47th RBI for Willeen.
Flat slider just stayed up in the middle of the plate versus having much tilt to it. Willeen stayed back long enough to get the hands extended and drive this ball right back up the middle. Trying to get a ball on the ground, you're getting the ball on the line. The Rockies now with 10 hits and 6 runs in the ball game.
Hits a fly ball to deep right. That is caught out there by Shearholtz. And Helton will tag and move to third. First out of the inning. And the Rockies are going to go to their bench now. It'll be Charlie Blackmon. Juan Nicasio, 5 innings. And giving up just 1 run on 3 hits. His pitch count at 90. So Walt's going to flip it over probably to Adam Ottavino, I guess, one of the hybrid guys, if you will.
And Ottavino warming up down in the bullpen for the Rockies, getting low started as the inning started. So I think the decision on Nicasio was early.
Here's the 1-0 to Charlie, and that's fouled off.
Blackmon on the year, 2 for 5 as a pinch hitter. Sunset was dusty and ugly a minute ago. That's a pretty nice looking shot right there. Look at those left field bleachers, the left field area of the ballpark. It's amazing how many people walk into our booth to say hi or see everything. They go, you got the best view in the house, and we get to see it every night. We're fortunate to get to do that. Drew and I get to look at it every night. It is gorgeous.
So this run the Rockies have put together. 3 in the inning after 3 last inning. Blackmon takes a strike that levels the count at 2-2. Bowden in strikeout situations will throw a splitter. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Blackman. Helton at third, Rosario at first. That's a foul ball. Another 2-2 to Blackman. Inside, 3-2. Well, Todd Helton's 3 for 3 tonight. And here's another list he's way high up on. 191 career 3-hit games. 71st all time. Babe Ruth, heard of him. He's next. Former Cub Billy Williams. 3 more than Todd. Junior on the list also. I bet you he has no idea about that list. We'll
I'm going to tell him tomorrow.
One. Ball 4, and now they're loaded up for Dexter Fowler. Seven have come to the plate here in the 5th inning. 6 have reached. Dexter, a 2-run triple last inning. It's not an everyday opportunity for a leadoff man to drive in a quartet of runs, but Dexter has that opportunity right here. 6 runs, 10 hits now. 8 of the 10 hits have come in the last 2 innings. One and one.
Not anywhere near it, flying and running away from the baseball now, finding inconsistent pitches thrown in the strike zone. Dexter waiting to pick on one.
He's pretty typical, George, of a middle reliever. He does not have overwhelming stuff.
About 70. I mean, if it's 88-91 with some movement, he can get a ground ball out. But if you're not throwing it for strikes, guys up here don't swing at it.
2-1. And it's 3-1 on Fowler. Nowhere to put Dexter. Helton at third, Rosario at second, Charlie Blackman's at first. In the air to left field, Soriano will make the catch. Todd will tag and make it 7-1. Third RBI of the night for Fowler. His 30th of the year. And we've got tacos as well. Fans, the Rockies have scored 7. Don't forget to go to your participating Taco Bell locations tomorrow. Do it between 4 and 6 to get your Rockies Taco Special. Feed your Rockies fever only at Taco Bell. Good to see, George. There's been an offensive drought for a good portion of July, and the Rockies in these last 2 innings, after struggling quite honestly early, have broken out.
Struggled for 3 innings where they didn't produce much, and then when they hit the home run, the Rockies responded with 3 in the 4th inning, and now 4 with 2 outs here in the 5th inning.
And LeMahieu's hit the ball hard tonight. A single, a hard ground out, and a line shot to center that was caught. DJ, just his whole makeup, George, pretty quiet guy. And if you watch him over a period of time, there's not a lot not to like. He's very steady. He's good defensively. He can run a little bit. throws his hips out there.
I laughed when he said he's a quiet guy because a couple of weeks ago fishing with him. So we're away from the ballpark. It's not media. It's not that. It's just a couple of guys standing by the bank. And I looked at him and I said, it's okay to talk. The fish won't hear you. And he started laughing and kind of loosened up and talked a lot about his childhood and LSU and a lot of other things. He's a very entertaining guy.
Michigan kid who went down south to college to the program of the LSU Tigers. He fans here. Rockies hit around in the 5th. They score 4 times and they have a 7-1 lead. That man's 3 for 3 tonight. Have broken out this evening. Dexter Fowler with 3 RBIs. And on the hill now, Adam Ottavino making his 28th appearance.
What a great job he's done too. 247 on run average, the whip at 1.25. You mentioned the number of innings thrown. The multi-inning role, he's kind of the guy that gets forgotten about. Ottavino, Escalano, Lopez, Corpus, guys that work the multiple inning area. You don't see their name in the headlines an awful lot, but this is where you win and lose ball games. Come out and shut down innings right now. As he'll face Starlin Castro, then Rizzo and Soriano.
You know, in a perfect world, George, for Walt Weiss, you'd like to see Adam Ottavino probably eat up 9 outs.
Well, you'd hope so. I mean, that would be the perfect scenario. And it's a matter of how quick it goes. Now, if he throws a lot of pitches, I mean, they don't like the middle relievers. If you go 3 innings, they'd like to keep it under 50 pitches. So you're not out 3 days from your next appearance. If you can keep it under that level, then you got a pretty good chance at it.
On the ground is short, Tulowitzki. One out, and that'll bring up Anthony Rizzo. Well, we thank you for texting in your questions during Toyota Talk. Make sure to visit the Root Sports Facebook page at facebook.com/RootSportsRM, where Hall of Fame Tracy Ringlesby will answer some more of your questions.
Who's Ringlesbury talking to?
That'd be Jeff Houston.
No, he was talking behind him.
Oh.
Jeff was getting out of the way.
I missed that part.
It's debatable. Say, I talked to Huey. He's in a bad spot because you get all the conversation.
Maybe what Huey's doing is interpreting for the Cowboys.
Might be.
One and one on Anthony Rizzo. Get a heater and a lot of sliders when Adam Ottavino's out there.
The fastball now are about 90, 92 miles an hour for the majority of the time, but that slider never leaves it.
And a ground ball base hit through the right side for Rizzo. Alfonso Soriano, a walk and a line out to center field, way outside. Dodgers and Nationals tied at 1 as they go to the 9th at Nationals Park. Originally Gio Gonzalez and Zach Greinke both pitched well.
Last night Belial snapped the slider off on that outside corner. Didn't leave much for Soriano to hit. 2-1 count now. Swing and miss on a 2-0 slider. Ottavino reminds me of a guy, Larry Anderson, does the broadcast for Phillies now. Could throw a slider anytime he wanted to and throw it for a strike.
That's his pitch, isn't it?
And it's a good one.
And Soriano fouls it off. 2-2 count.
Good idea here if you can locate it. Good fastball outside corner. You'll get a bite.
Well, this is a gapper toward right center field. Dexter trying to cut it off. Soriano digging for second, and he'll have himself a double.
A fastball that was on the outer half of the plate, but it was elevated. It wasn't down in the zone, so you got Soriano coming up out of that swing and getting a top hand on it and driving it into right center field. He just hit it where it was pitched, but the ball was elevated. And that's where Rizzo advanced on to third base. Soriano into second base. You know, one out, second and third. When you're in a part of that lineup here, you got to be careful with it. You're with a 6-run lead. You got it shut down. Don't let the confidence come back to their ball club.
Here's Shearholtz. He takes ball 1. Made a ground ball to second and a fly ball to deep right. One out in the 6th inning. And a ground ball to the right side. Helton will go to the bag. A run will score. 7-2. Shearholtz with his 35th RBI. as Rizzo scores. Soriano to third.
Well, don't forget about Purple Mondays coming up here on July 22nd, where Purple win prizes, including autographed items, and the first 10,000 are going to receive a Rockies Purple T-shirt, all courtesy of Coca-Cola.
Giants leading the Diamondbacks 2-0. They're in the 5th inning in San Francisco. Matt Cain on the hill for San Francisco, and it's 0-2 on Starlin Castro, or excuse me, on Junior Lake.
Text each other.
Maybe
they don't want to talk, so they're texting each other.
They're playing a video game against each other. Playing MLB 2013, George.
No, they're looking for a flight out. They're a little mad right now. The one guy goes, "I got mine. You're on your own, pal."
One and two on Junior Lake. 2-2 on Lake. And now it's 3-2. Strikes out Lake on a slider. In the inning, there was a run on a couple of hits. The Rockies have a 7-2 lead, middle of 6. Coors Field over the Cubs. McDonald's now get a coffee, sausage, McMuffin, or hash browns for only $1 each on the dollar menu at breakfast. I'm loving it. And you gotta love these highlights, especially from the 4th inning on. Dexter Fowler pulls one in the right field corner. That turned into a 2-run triple for Dexter. In the 5th inning, the Rockies will get a leadoff home run in the 5th from Cargo deep into the 9th. They followed with 4 more hits in succession. And before the inning was done, the Rockies had 4 more runs to take a 7-1 lead. They gave one back last inning, but they have a 7-2 lead as they come to bat here in the bottom half of the 6th. Here's Cargo again, and he takes a changeup for a strike. Michael Bowden staying on the mound. Bowden got the final 3 outs last inning. All 7 runs charged to Carlos Villanueva.
Second straight start that he's gone against the Rockies, meaning Villanueva. He's given up 7 runs in 5 innings or less. So he'd be happy to get out of town and get away from these guys.
He was good early.
Very good for 3 innings. And again, this is a guy that's been a reliever for the majority of his career. He's just making his 67th start out of 367 career ball games.
Oh, 2 on Gonzalez. And it's 2-2. Home run for Gonzalez is 26th of the year. 65 RBIs.
You'd think sometimes the catcher has it rough. How about the umpire? Fouled right off of the glove and then a shoulder shot into that chest protector. If you didn't get down, you will.
Michael Bowden, a former Red Sox. In fact, he was a #1 pick of the Red Sox. And he strikes out Cargo.
That only makes sense, doesn't it? Theo Epstein reloading their minor leagues. Well, by the way, coming up Sunday, kind of a special day around the ballpark. Troy Tulowitzki bobblehead day. It's all coming up here. And the nice part about this, look at, don't touch. Remember what you did to Andres. Busted the bat right out of his hand. Go ahead. Go ahead. No, can't do it. No, go ahead. Here, come on. Go ahead.
That's a good one.
Troy Tulowitzki bobblehead coming up, so it'll be a good one. So, Dougie, if you're watching at home, I'm going to stick this up behind with the rest of our bobbleheads so you know that we got you. He got mad last time because he didn't get one.
Dougie's back tomorrow.
Yeah. Jerry Winningham's been up here for the last couple of days hanging out with us. What do you think?
I like it.
Look
It'll
like
fit,
Tulo?
it'll fit right in.
Does it look like Tulo?
It has a striking resemblance.
Well, he's got that mohawk haircut, though. I thought maybe they might do that down the backside, you know?
Tulo pops to right. Two gone. That'll bring up Michael Kadire.
Frontier Airlines is the sponsor for Troy Tulowitzki on this bobblehead on Sunday night. Sunday afternoon, excuse me.
Kadire, a base hit his last time up, hustled to second on a bobble by Junior Lake and would score on a base hit by Willeen Rosario. Rockies up 7-2, 2 outs in the 6th inning. Michael Bowden grew up in Illinois, about an hour from Wrigley Field. In fact, he was a big Cubs fan growing up. Selected by the Red Sox when they released him. Kind of a dream came true. Not that he was released, but that he ended up being picked up by his favorite team growing up, the Northsiders.
Now's a good time to be a pitcher and a strike thrower for the Chicago Cub organization. You're going to get some opportunities to come to the big leagues.
You know, this day and age, George, I know you do a lot of private teaching in the off season. This kid never had a lesson until he was drafted by the Red Sox.
That's pretty amazing. Just went out and pitched and played an awful lot of baseball, obviously.
Well, one of the games that got him on scouts' radar and elevated him very quickly. In high school, he pitched a perfect game, and of the 21 outs, he struck out 19.
That'll get the attention of a lot of people.
Red Sox,
and word will travel.
Yeah, the Red Sox scouting director, Kadire walks. Jason McLeod at the time said it was the best prep performance he had ever seen. Todd Helton looking for his 4th hit. Nicasio on the plus side, 5 innings of 1-run baseball. Carlos Villanueva in 4+ innings gave up 7 runs on 9 hits. He walked 4. One of the walks was intentional. He didn't strike anybody out. Michael Bowden was thrown the last inning in 2/3. Big gap in right center field.
Big swing by Todd Helton. Todd with 38 4-hit games. Oh. Tied for 48th all time. Now, how many 3-hit games did he have a minute ago? 92?
No, 100. I think, what was it, 192?
192, 92nd place or something. I don't know. He's got a lot of hits.
Next guy on the list, Babe Ruth. 0-2. Outside 1-2.
I wonder how many of those multi-hit games for Todd were extra base hits, not just singles.
Two and two.
Boy, he's mad. Todd got a couple of pitches to hit. He's not happy.
Bowden strikes out 2 of the inning. Dyer left at first base. We move to the 7th. The Rockies up 7-2.
the 7th. If you're a fan, you know that this was Roxivus weekend. That's Festivus, Seinfeld, you know. Festivus for all of us. Roxivus weekend had a bunch of ex-players in here. One of them was Brian Fuentes. He's the all-time saves leader for the franchise with 115. Just retired, and listen to this. He's got a new occupation.
I decided to go into some farming, so now I'm farming almonds, and which is I know nothing about, but I've done a lot of research. I had a stack of papers on my desk as we speak, and every night I go in, I read a little bit more about it, and I have some friends who do it.
I had a conversation with Brian today, guys. He said that California produces the most almonds in the world. He's from Merced, and that area of California is great. So that's his new vocation. You know, this time last year he was pitching in the Gulf Coast League, Rookie League for the Cardinals as he was getting ready to get called up by St. Louis. Only 6 games, and then he decided for a change of pace, and he did end up retiring. But good to see Brian here.
Let me tell you what, Mark, the Cal League and the Modesto Nuts. There's a reason they're called the Nuts. The Merced's not far away.
Works well in that part of the country, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Barney with a base hit. That'll bring up Wellington Castillo. Fuentes had that sidearm delivery from the left side. He had a good fastball, but George, he had a devastating changeup.
There's no question. I mean, it was one of the weirdest looking things delivered to home plate, and nobody hit it.
He did have
pick off the move to second was pretty good too.
It's a great story too that a number of pitchers have, but I don't know if they turn into the success story that Brian did. Brian was going to get released. He wasn't in the Rockies organization. He was with Seattle, and he threw conventionally. He threw over the top, and I don't remember if it was manager or pitching coach at the time said you got to do something different, otherwise you're going to be going home. And they dropped him down, and he moved quickly after that.
Yeah, he got to the big leagues in a hurry.
Ball and 2 strikes on Castillo. Julio Bourbon's in the on-deck circle. That gets away, and Barney will move up. Well, you don't want to get sloppy and all of a sudden allow the Cubs to get back in this ball game.
A slider out right behind the home plate area, trying to block it and make it soft, but it ricocheted right off the shoulder of Lean. Didn't get by him far enough to let Barney jump up on it.
Vino runs the count full, 3-2. A wild pitch, allowing Barney to move up if you score with this at home. And ball 4. Now 2 on, nobody out. And Bourbon coming up. Now Wilt Lopez on the right side, Josh Outman on the left side for the Rockies.
Bourbon on the season as a pinch hitter has been called to the plate 29 times, almost double of anybody else on their club. He's got 5 hits and only 1 RBI.
And Walt's not going to waste any time. He doesn't like what he sees, and he's going to go and make a pitching change with Bourbon being announced. Wilt Lopez will come in. 7-2 Colorado as Ottavino jogs off. Rockies 7, the Cubs 2. 2 men on, nobody out in the 7th inning. And Adam Ottavino gives way to Wilton Lopez. Lopez will make his 47th appearance. Looking for a ground ball from Julio Bourbon, pinch hitting now.
Well, in left-hander they got on their bench. They do have a switch they could go to in Navarro, but he's the backup catcher. So it'll be important here to come in and get some ground balls and get out of this thing.
Bourbon, product of the University of Tennessee. Know anybody from Tennessee, George? Bourbon hits it in the air right at Cargo. 1 out.
Say hi to your old man. There you go. Just say hi to Todd, that other guy from Tennessee.
Got a street named after him in Knoxville. You know that, don't you?
Bourbon?
Julio doesn't have one yet. Julio's #1 pick, by the way.
I know.
He doesn't have one yet, but 17 does.
Yes, he does.
And also 18, who plays down the road. He's got one also.
Is it an intersection? That's the question.
I'll meet you at the intersection of Manning and Helton.
There you go.
Luis Valbuena at the plate. Valbuena home run back in the 3rd, 1 for 3. Pulled foul. Valbuena's been well traveled in his big league career. Seattle, Cleveland for 3 seasons. Now the Cubs. Two. The Cubs traded for Ian Stewart. I hope that he would solidify himself at 3rd base. He continued to have injuries, and then obviously before he was released he had some Twitter issues.
Big time Twitter issues.
And now he's in the Dodgers organization. 0-2, 1-2.
Not sure why that happened either. Uribe, I know he's on his last year of his contract. He's hitting 276 right now for them. Hitting some runs, playing 3rd pretty well.
Juan's having a bounce back year for the Dodgers. Last 2 years have been
a lot of injuries too, though.
Been really subpar for Uribe. He's had a strong career. Not solid. 2-2. This thing could set up, George, where you see Mitchell Boggs making his Rockies debut in the 8th.
Pitched an inning last night. It was a short inning. May wait a night before they throw him out there.
Lopez, George, throwing the ball through his sink for you. I mean, we're seeing a lot more 94s from him, and sometimes sinker ballers, the sinker flattens out when they get too much velo.
Well, it flattens out when you get too much velo, Drew, but the big key for the sinker, even if you're down here, is to keep your hand up. The minute you let the hand get outside the ball, you have a rotation and sideward spin on it.
It's going to find its way through the right side. It's going to score a run, 7-3. Barney scores. Castillo at 2nd. And Valbuena has driven in his 2nd run of the night.
So what ends up happening is you get off to the side of the baseball. So even if you're a low 3/4 guy, if you keep your hand behind it, when you come out to throw and you start to pronate to the inside, you're still driving that ball with a sink motion down. But whenever you let the hand get out flat, now the ball's going to run. Sounds like an easy fix. You look at him and say, hey, get your hand up behind the baseball, stay behind it, and drive it. But a lot of guys, you can't feel that when you're on the mound. You feel like you're behind it and you're staying where you need to. And realistically, you're just not doing it.
It's a double play ball. Castro into the 6-3 inning-ending double play. The Cubs do get a run, and it's now 7-3 as we go to the bottom of the 7th. Baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by the Honey Smoked Fish Company, a ready-to-eat energizing superfood you can add to any dish that's healthy and delicious. And by Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo customers get your 2-for-1 Rockies club level tickets today by going to wellsfargo.com/Rockies. Wells Fargo Bank, member FDIC. Friday night, lower downtown Denver slowed down. You can get in trouble driving that fast.
Wow, there's a lot going on down there.
So you walk across the street, George. That was actually video. That fast. That was video from last night. I saw you on your walk to the hotel.
Okay.
Hector Rondon is now into the baseball game for Chicago. Third pitcher utilized. Villanueva for 4. Bowden for the last 2. Willeen Rosario, Nolan Arenado, and then we'll see pitcher spot after that. 7 runs, 10 hits for the Rockies. 3, 7. And 1 for Chicago.
Hard thrower here. 25 ball games this season. Oh, what a beautiful night at Coors Field now. The wind's died down. Looking out, seeing the mountains. Ready sunset out in left field. Hard thrower here. You're going to see 93 to 96. That at 94 miles an hour.
Bowden ended up going 2 innings, didn't give up a run, just a hit, couple of walks, 3 strikeouts. Willeen a double and a single tonight. He's driven in a run, 2 for 3. Just quietly, George got that average close to 280.
Doing a nice job of swinging the bat. I think so much focus after last year with the pass balls, the errors was put on the catching side of things, and as he started to settle into it a little bit better on the catching side, the offense came with it.
28 home runs last year, a little bit off that pace this year. He's got 13. Hit a bunch early. Had a big April.
Now, once you do it, you know you do it again. The catching tandem, the 2 guys, Torrealba and Rosario, has been a pleasant surprise.
Torrealba's been everything the Rockies could have asked for. First from a leadership standpoint, and then Torrey's had a really good year offensively.
9 RBIs, an average of 287. So the catching core combined, when you put Rosario with it, and then they got 55 RBIs with 13 home runs and hit it right at 280.
Watch, there'll be a smile within 3 seconds. Ready? 1, 2.
Yeah, put the mask on. There's one.
Yeah.
He struck out.
Here's Arenado. And you know what? I don't think that's the worst thing in the world. George, people may be going, "What? He's smiling. He just struck out." You will lose your marbles.
Yes.
If you don't allow yourself at times to, you know what, smile. Guy made a good pitch. Whatever.
Gotta have fun with it.
Yeah. I mean, if you grind and are ready to throw a bat every time you make an out, the game will eat you alive.
It will be a short career.
1-1 on Arenado. Josh Rutledge has come out on deck. You know, you mentioned Derek Mooneyham has moved out of the truck for a couple of days, joining us up in the booth.
Yeah, so you got to tell what he usually does.
He's usually running the Fox box, which is up in the corner right there, keeping you abreast of everything going on. There's Derek over there.
Say hi, wave.
Derek's nephew. It's your nephew, right? Cousin. I always get it confused. He's family. Was a #1 pick out of Stanford. Is he in Baltimore? Where is he? He's with Washington.
He's rich. He's a #1 draft pick. He's rich.
He's a heck of a pitcher at Stanford. And you know what? Because Derek joined us at fantasy camp a few years ago. His cousin throws the ball better than Derek.
Really?
Yeah.
He does?
And Derek was good, but his cousin's better. Because Derek didn't get drafted out of fantasy camp.
How come you never come to fantasy camp when I'm there? I've been there the last 3 or 4 years. Because I'm kind of like the sheriff when it comes to Kangaroo Court.
You are.
I will get you for something.
You could fine him right now. Why don't you fine him now?
Yeah, it's $5 just for being here. I think the best find in fantasy camp, I can't remember the gentleman's name, but he and Charlie Blackman continue to see a white hawk, or was it a white owl, hanging out into the parking lot. Who's the guy? I'm losing it. Yeah, when they come in every morning and they said they'd hear this white owl hooting at them. So every morning I just find them both.
Something tells me if they were seeing that in the morning coming in, they never did actually hit the hotel. It was
good. I don't know. The other gentleman was 89. Had been coming to fantasy for a while. Pretty good heater right there in a quick inning.
Rutledge is gone, and the Rockies are done in their half of the 7th. To the 8th we go, 7-3 Colorado. From Coors Field. What's Next is brought to you by CenturyLink. Here's what's next. Tomorrow afternoon, the Rockies will send Tyler Chatwood to the hill. That's generally a very good thing. Edwin Jackson, he had a no-hitter from a couple of years ago, will go for the Chicago Cubs. He's 6-10 with a 5+ ERA. Look at the numbers for Chatwood.
Yeah, they're outstanding. Good Sunday afternoon baseball here at Coors Field.
We're on the air with the pregame show at 1:30 on Root Sports. Josh Outman's on the hill right now, and Anthony Rizzo's behind 0-1. Rizzo 1 for 3 tonight. Fourth pitcher utilized by Walt Weiss tonight. 5 very solid innings from Juan Nicasio. He gave up a run on 3 hits, a couple of walks, 3 punch-outs. Adam Ottavino not as sharp in his first outing since the All-Star break. An inning plus, a couple runs, 3 hits, a walk, and a strikeout. And then Wilton Lopez pitched an inning, gave up just 1 hit.
Now Matt Belisle warming up right now too. You got the left on left, and you have right coming right behind it. They've used the one left-hander off the bench, Barbone. They have another Navarro, but he's the backup catcher. Belisle faced Soriano last night, struck him out.
I'd give Josh Outman some love, particularly against lefties. Rizzo looks feeble on that swing. Lefties against Josh hitting just .217.
Now last night this same situation arose with the lefty on the mound. Escalona with a fastball. He had a double down the right field line. Tonight Josh Outman, you mentioned the left on left matchup. It's pretty good.
Alfonso Soriano. A walk, a line out, and a double for Soriano. Leading the Cubs in home runs and stolen bases at 37. Seven-time All-Star.
Not surprised by that either.
I got one for you, George. And he's 3 away from doing it right now, hitting 20 home runs. He's got 17 to lead the Cubs. There's 3 players who have 11 straight 20 home run seasons entering 2013. Who are they? One is Soriano. 11 straight years, soon to be 12, with at least 20 home runs.
Well, Pujols hadn't played long enough.
No, Pujols is one of them. Pujols is one of them, so now you're missing one more. Soriano, Pujols, and who's the third?
Wow. It's an elite crowd, obviously.
2-1. Swung on and missed. It's 2-2.
Cabrera hasn't done it enough in Detroit. Just eliminating people.
Cabrera would be a good guess. He's not the guy we're looking for.
A-Rod hasn't done it.
A-Rod, because of injuries lately, hasn't done it. He's coming back Monday, A-Rod.
647 in his career for A-Rod. That's a bunch, isn't it?
That's a lot of home runs.
Who is it? I'm holding on in suspense.
He was an all-star this year in the American League.
Okay, that's one of 34 guys.
Well, you can eliminate pitchers. Got a great nickname. The Rockies have played him this year. Foul tips held by Rosario.
Big Poppy.
Big Poppy. Big Poppy. Along with Albert Pujols and that man, Alfonso Soriano, 11 straight years of at least 20 home runs. And you figure that all 3 will make it 12. Nate Shearholtz is being pinch hit for. This will be Cole Gillespie.
Gillespie played right field, came into the ball game late after pinch hitting.
(2-0). Rockies began the day 4.5 back. Arizona trailing 4-2 in San Francisco in the 6th inning. Dodgers have taken a 3-1 lead, George, in the 10th inning against Washington. Those are the standings currently. If Washington doesn't mount a comeback and the Diamondbacks don't manage a comeback, Rockies will be 3.5 back if they hold on, and the Dodgers would be a half game back.
And you know what? People say, well, it's July. I don't care. It beats looking in the paper and saying you're 15 back.
That it does.
You know, and it's August 1st and you're figuring out where you're going to put your feeders out in the lot for the deer. I mean, you know, this is a different deal now. I mean, 3.5 back, you're right in the middle of everything, man.
Arenado throws out Gillespie. Good inning for Josh Outman in the 8th. Rockies up 4 spots, 7-3. To 3. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Colorado Rockies. May not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Colorado Rockies. Cole Gillespie stays in right field after pinch hitting for Nate Shearholz. There's been another change on the mound. Blake Parker is on for the Cubs. Hector Rondon pitched a clean 7th inning, had a couple of strikeouts. Top of the order for the Rockies in the 8th inning, Fowler, LeMahieu, and Gonzalez. Been a good night for Dexter Fowler. He is 1 for 2 officially. He has a walk and a sac fly. He has a 2-run triple to his credit. 3 RBI night for Dexter. Blake Parker back and forth between Chicago and Iowa. He holds the Iowa saves record, career saves record, with 41.
92 to 95 mile-an-hour fastball, typically right around the 93 range. Good breaking ball to go on the backside of that.
There's another guy will throw a splitter. They have a few of those guys.
It kind of became a popular pitch, and the reason behind that, obviously, it's moving downward. You got the Windy City. Want to keep the ball on the ground at Wrigley Field, not get it up in the air.
Oh, 2. Here's a good fastball fouled off by Dex. Padres hung on, beat the Cardinals 5-3. And this ball lined toward left center field. It's going to get down. Soriano is going to hold Dexter to a single. One of the real enjoyable things to watch when the Rockies are in action is Dexter Fowler running the bases, and all different kinds of things he does on the bases. Certainly when he pulls off the triple, as he did earlier in the ball game. But when he hits a single, George, to left or center, the way he flies around first base, it makes you field it into just one base instead of 2. It's a joy to watch. It's playing the game absolutely right.
Well, you want to round hard around that first base bag. All of a sudden, you get Soriano there, mail one, and may get over second base. You advance, get scoring position with nobody out.
And Dex takes off first pitch, and he'll steal this base easily.
14 now for Dexter.
And that's something that he wasn't doing a year ago. Looking to steal bases and looking early in counts to steal.
Yeah, big jump high, leg kick, and not even a throw down.
LeMahieu's 1 for 4 tonight. DJ takes a strike. DJ, just a solid player all the way around. And I don't mean that to be faint praise. You watch here, he'll get the ball, he'll find a way to get the ball to the right side and move Dex up 90 feet. There it is.
Scoring. Yeah, that's going to drop in front. Gillespie had it played perfectly.
Well, how about that inside-out approach?
Yeah, he just knows he does all the right things. That's why they hit him second in the lineup.
Now he's in a running situation, first and third. Cargo coming up.
Yeah, right there it is. I mean, hands really coming inside the body. Watch the back elbow drop. And allow that bat to get on that inside. Then you got to be strong enough to muscle that ball into right field. DJ did it.
Cargo tonight 1 for 3 and walk. The one was a long one. some odd feet to right center field. 26th home run of the year. It leads the National League. It's Blake Parker here in the 8th. Rockies trying to add on. They're up 7-3. And DJ's picked off. Dex will come down the line a little bit. That's interference.
You bet.
That's interference. Everybody's safe.
Castro didn't get out of the way.
And a terrific call. First base umpire Lance Barrett saw it. Once there's contact, interference on the fielder. Dex is going to have to go back to third.
Because when it happens, the
It's
ball
dead
becomes
ball.
dead. I'll show you the interference here first for DJ LeMahieu. He's in the rundown. The pick came over. This is where Castro got into him right here as he cut. He got it. Well, you know
nice
what?
job.
Nice job, DJ LeMahieu. Yeah, great job. You know, Fowler's standing out there, and he's going to take off. Doesn't matter. It's dead. But that's where they should have got some help from the first base umpire. To be quite honest with you, fans watching at home, there should have been a little help from Barrett because the interference call was called by Bill Wilkie.
This is smart play, though, George.
Oh, it's a very smart play. But see, he takes off and runs actually about 2 steps out away from him on the direct line to get the interference call.
Clever play by LeMahieu.
Kind of the Reggie Jackson throw the hip into the throw thing in the '78 World Series against the Dodgers. It worked.
1 strike to count on Gonzalez. Infield in. 2 in scoring position. Boy, Cargo had a pitch to hit there. Let's check the Coors Light freeze can. Cargo getting full extension. That's his home run earlier. Brought to you by Cross Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
An 0-2 count on Gonzalez. The scoreboard here, Coors has 0-1.
That'll bring up Tulowitzki. Troy tonight 1 for 4. Singled and scored in the 5th. That's a strike.
Looking for a dead red fastball. Tulowitzki started to fire and then recognized breaking ball and laid off of it.
George, tonight Houston was entertaining the Seattle Mariners. The Mariners won 4-2, but the story was that Eric Bedard, the former Mariner, now pitching for Houston, had a no-hitter with 1 out in the 7th inning.
Things went south.
He ended up losing. Well, at the end of the night, the Mariners win 4-2. How many hits do you think they had?
2.
1.
Really? Grand slam?
1? No. 1-1 on Tulowitzki.
Dodgers that you mentioned earlier, final now 3-1 over Washington.
Well, he beat Strasburg yesterday, and Gio Gonzalez didn't get the loss today, but he started for Washington, struck out 11 in 6 innings, but ultimately the Dodgers win. So the point is, you win 2 ball games when the opposition throws 2 terrific arms. I assume Jordan Zimmerman's going tomorrow.
Probably Nolasco for them.
Here's a 3-1, and Tulo bounces it past Stu Cole. They have Kershaw and Zimmerman tomorrow. How about that Sunday pitching matchup?
I think the last game there going. Nolasco started everything off yesterday.
I thought he started yesterday.
Yeah, he did.
One out, Fowler at third, DJ's at second. Down the line, fair ball. That'll score 2. Tulo cruise to second with a 2-run double. And the Rockies lead it 9-3 at Coors Field.
Finally got a hanging slider that didn't foul off or jerk foul. He almost knocked the third baseman off his feet. Here, another look at that hanging slider. Tulowitzki smiled big as that bat came through the zone on the Mike Shaw Subaru Supremo. You'll watch it. Squared right up and shot down that third base line right by Villanueva, because he is, even though on the line, not going to make a play on that baseball. Both runs come around to score. They expand it to 9-3.
Here's Kadire, 1 for 3 and a walk.
Boggs has started to warm up in the Rockies bullpen now. Belial was up. Now will be Mitchell Boggs.
And this is dropped into right field, but caught on the run by Gillespie. 2 outs. Off the bat, thought it may drop.
There's the right-hander. Mitchell Boggs, hard throwing right-hander. Threw an inning last night for Tulsa. He threw 6 innings, 2 hits. Rafael Betancourt with an emergency appendectomy last night. Retroactive to July 15th, his last appearance. And Mitchell Boggs recalled from Tulsa.
Todd 3 for 4. He'll undoubtedly get the day off tomorrow. Todd looking forward to the second half. Seeing if this club can put together a run. Talk to the veteran guys like Kadire and Helton. They're confident if they stay healthy, they can make it very interesting. 2-1 on Helt outside. 3-1 on Todd. Here's the 3-2 outside and a walk. So Parker walks Helt first and second for Rosario. There's another guy who'll probably get a day off. You'll see Torrealba behind the plate, you would guess.
Looking to come out to the ballpark? Well, there's always great Rocky ticket deals available. So bookmark Rockies.com/specials. Check back all season long for any of those specials on ticket deals here at the park. .25 pitches for Parker in the inning. Coming into the ball game, he'd thrown the ball pretty well for this club. 0-1, 245 in 18 ball games. 18 in the third, struck out 18. He'd given up 7 earned runs, or excuse me, 5 earned runs and only 13 hits. This inning, he's given up 3 hits, a walk and a couple of runs and a strikeout. Not the type of inning you want to write home about.
And Rosario lines it into the seats foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. Rolene a double in the 4th. RBI single in the 5th, and that is pulled to 3rd, caught in the air by Valbuena. 2 more runs in the inning on the Tulowitzki double, and the Rockies have a 9-3 lead as we go to the 9th. Is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. Crowd of 45,616 at Coors Field tonight. They've enjoyed what they've seen. The Rockies 9 and the Cubs 3. Rockies looking for 3 more outs
and then we can hand it off to Jenny Cavnar in center field, and I'm sure a good portion of those 45,000+ will join you as well.
We hope they do, Drew. We'll see you for the Toyota postgame show coming up right after baseball. We're going to start by talking about Dex Marks the Spot. Dexter Fowler had the lone Rockies run last night. Tonight, he just had a couple hits and added 3 more RBIs. And then what the Helton is going on around here? The young lad had a nice 3-hit night. He's had just 3 of those so far this season. And, of course, we're going to talk about an offensive effort. It was not offensive tonight, guys. Double digits for this offense. It was very nice to see their bats come alive. It's all coming up on the Toyota postgame show.
Well, what the Helton? I can't wait to see it.
Are you allowed to say that, Jenny?
I think so.
I just said it.
Okay,
so Jenny
good.
can say it.
Frazier says a lot of things.
You do. Yeah,
Yes.
you do. And you wear a lot of hats, you know?
I wish I could get some more hats.
We'll have to send them your way.
I know.
Ask
I'm waiting
for
on them. Well,
People
you know,
respond to you,
Drew
you know?
doesn't. I don't know. Well, anyway.
You haven't gotten one in a while. Jenny, we'll check with you shortly. Thank you very much. Mitchell Boggs will make his Rockies debut. Last season with the Cardinals, as we discussed earlier, he was sensational. One of the top 8th inning men in baseball. The 34 holds led the National League. The league hit just .211 against Boggs last year. He's got a heavy fastball.
Real heavy fastball. You know what? You got a 9-3 lead. Let's attack, get right after it, those strikes, and get this inning over with. Started the year, and when they had a lot of problems in St. Louis with injuries, they made him the closer, and unfortunately didn't pitch well. Was sent to Memphis, and the Rockies able to, I think, steal him away from the Cardinals. This is a great arm. He and Darryl Scott found a mechanical issue that they seemed to correct at the top of his windup. His first pitch in a Rocky uniform, 93 and down.
He's a Georgia native, went to the University of Georgia, 29-year-old. 2-0 on junior to late. Sinking fastball in there, and it's 2-1. Lake tonight 1 for 2 and a walk. Game 2 of Lake's big league career. Ground ball to third. Arenado, pirouette, throw, out at first.
Arenado's got great range out at third base, so it allows him to go back on a baseball plant, and then he's got the exceptional arm and a very accurate arm.
Great defensive field. He can make all the plays, all the throws from the hot corner. Darwin Barney, 1 for 3, singled in the 7th and scored. 1 out in the 9th. Rockies up 9-3. Mitchell Boggs making his Rockies debut, and that's a strike as well. Boggs was acquired on July the 9th for an international signing bonus slot, the 4th slot. Trying to make international slotting Major League Baseball, trying to make it more equitable so the big market teams can't just blow a prospect away with dollars and prevent other teams from competing from a financial standpoint. 0-2 on the ground, and that's fair past Arenado. So Barney into second with a double.
Not that bad a pitch. You got a 9-3 ball game, so as a third baseman, you're not hugging the line, nor should you. But it was a sinking fastball in off the plate, and then it just hugged that foul line all the way down into the corner.
Wellington Castillo.
the end of the bat foul. And so 2, 94-mile-an-hour fastball.
Well, the key, the fastball and the velocity's been there all year for Boggs. It's just a matter of making sure you put the ball where you want to. Walks had given him a problem. Didn't see any of that when he performed in Tulsa. Watched 3 of the 6 outings there, or 3 of the 4 outings he had there. Hard slider at 90.
Good pitch. Slider, and Castillo's gone. 2 outs in the 9th inning. Good location with this as well, George.
Yeah, velocity, sharpness of the break. Threw it for a strike right on the outside corner. Never had an opportunity to do anything with it. Really got on top of it, kept that downward plane.
Pitcher spot, Cody Ransom will pinch hit. Cody started at third base last night for Chicago. A 90-mile-an-hour slider. Doesn't matter how long you've been around, you want to make a good first impression.
Oh, absolutely.
What Mitchell Boggs is attempting to do.
Well, the key to it, he's been a late inning guy. He's been an 8th inning guy and had great success doing it.
Here's the 0-1. I want to go back for a moment. You know that the obstruction play on Starlin Castro?
Yes.
Just so we are accurate with people who keep a book at home. Did that hit him? Yeah,
Nick,
it did get him.
Hit Nick.
Castro is given an error on the play for allowing Fowler to move up. And everybody who was involved, including Castro with the rundown, because he made a throw, everybody gets an assist. And if you're keeping assists at home, boy, you're way ahead of us. Right? But,
okay. All right. You've gone beyond now.
But with the obstruction, Castro gets an error. Foul point at the plate. Homered back in the 3rd inning, also an RBI single in the 7th, so he's driven in 2 of the 3 tonight for Chicago. 2-0. Boggs falling behind 3-0 on Balbuena. 2 on, Barney at second and Ransom at first. 2 outs.
He'll take here. You're going to have to pipe one. Pipe a couple, actually. Nowhere close with that one. Well, and you have a guy that has had this kind of talent in his career and had that much success in his career. You feel for them and you want them to go right after guys and get after them. You know, and that's when everybody comes to the mound, the pitching coach, all your buddies, your newfound buddies. Try to stay positive with him, get after it. Let's go. What pitch do you feel like right now you think you can do something with? Got a right-hander up. You threw that slider pretty good. Let's go slider first pitch. Throw first strike.
Starlin Castro with the bases loaded and 2 outs. And that's a good looking pitch on the outside corner. Great crowd tonight at Coors Field. More than 45,000. Far closer to 46,000. 9-3 Colorado. 13 hits for the Rockies tonight. It's 0-2.
Got to have a lot of good feelings walking off the mound, because you know what? When you haven't shook a lot of hands at the end of a game, it's important in a 9-3 game. Forget the score. He loaded the bases, but to shake hands, confidence-wise, to have a good feeling.
Here's the 0-2.
You know, that you didn't have to warm somebody up for him to come finish up a 9-3 ball game, which, you know, they've started having brothers play light catch. But I mean, it's one of those deals where you're wanting to do it. You know, you've done it in the past. You've been the elite guy.
The 0-2.
Good block, great block. Hard to do it on a 91-mile-an-hour slider, too. He got a little lamped up on that one. All Moline was trying to do is bury it and hope he kept it out in front of him and happened to catch the glove. A difficult job right there. Good idea. Try to take the fastball away. Elevated it at 94.
Two and 2 on Castro. And on the ground to short. Tulo's got it, and that's the ball game. Rockies prevail 9-3. They poured on behind Dexter Fowler and company, and they even up the series at 1 apiece. 1-1 on this 10-game homestand. 9 runs, 13 hits.